As I suspected, 32 flavors.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's Friday night, and we're here to party, talk comics, be stupid, and all that great stuff. So let's get on with it, shall we? We had a week off last week, and it is a divine pleasure to be here. And I don't know when my camera decided to zoom in, but here we are, and I'm kind of streamed out by the zooming. I'm like, what is this? What is this fuckery? So, anyways, yeah, I don't know what happened, but we're here. So, yeah, let's bring in the dude, shall we? We'll start off with our repeat guest, the Comic Relief Crusader. How's it going, dude?
It's going huge. Glad to be on
Good.
this channel again. It's been a long time coming, but it's just awesome to be with the most awesome host ever in the history of awesomeness.
It's about time we did this again. This was overdue. This was
I know,
needed.
man. It's been like
Yeah,
over
I'm
a year.
happy we're doing this. Yeah. Congrats on your success, by the way. You're fucking killing it, man.
Thanks, man. I mean,
No, seriously, you're killing it. Well, hey, I'm just fortunate. That's all that is. I'm just fortunate and lucky. I have a great crowd of humans, and they're all here, and they're all great, and they're all fantastic. So,
Oh yeah.
how you been, man?
I've been doing pretty good. You know, I've been practicing up. I've been doing like a plethora of t-shirts. Like this, I gotta say, was inspired by Clobby whenever he does his Saturday Night Star Trek, right? And because this was a common question that I would ask, like, what would Kirk do? So I've been making t-shirts. I've been practicing like crazy, like since May of last year with like Hungry Boy and like really getting my comic art up and stuff like that, because you know that is something I'm planning to do. So I'm like drawing like crazy. And so far he's been like, you know, pretty impressed like how far I've been progressing. Collecting comics again. Man, I found some gems. Jeez.
Oh, so you got some back issues to show off later?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You better.
So, yeah.
I like hearing that. That's a divine word around these parts, is the back issues. It's a wonderful thing.
When
it's a
stories
wonderful
were
thing.
good. Yeah.
Oh.
I know, right?
All right. So we're going to acknowledge a few things before we bring in our other bevy of fine dudes. Vulcan Lives getting 5 huge memberships. Thank you for doing that, Vulcan. I appreciate that, sir.
Huge.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Hopefully your Friday night is going good. So let's acknowledge some faces here. Putin's cat. How are you, Putin's cat? And Vulcan Lives say he couldn't be here today. He says he's gonna catch the replay. Have a great show. And we get, hey, dude, you're not even gonna be here, and you still dropped anyway. You didn't have to do that, man. But thank you, though. Seriously, I hope your Friday night goes good, whatever it is you're doing tonight. And thank you for catching the replay, sir. I hope everything's okay. Hopefully, it's just, you know, maybe you're enjoying the real world per se. Because if that's all it is, no questions here, man. We all gotta have a life, and we all gotta enjoy it on top of it. But my guy, Dave C, Mars Monkey Max, D Bud Martin, Osmora 199. How's it going, Osmora? Once again, you in that fancy avatar. RJ Godzilla 81, Boosh McFadden. What's up, Boosh? How you doing, Boosh? All right. Oh, and then of course to our lurkers out there, wherever you are, I know you're out there. And I see the Common Nerds page, of course. We got the Common Nerds. All right, let's bring in our other dudes here. All right, we'll start off with the Ironcaster.
Hello, sir. How are we doing, boys?
Oh, we're doing. How are you doing?
I am so relaxed. Like I went out, I got a good little chicken sandwich today.
Nice.
I got my Conan box set in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4K. By Crom, it's great.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Nah, our fellow friend, listener of the channels, Chernobyl. I'm sure as you saw in Gilded, he got for being a Dolph Lundgren member, he got the free comic book day plus 1 through 4 of the current Titan Comics run of Conan, which really happy to see that he got his package. I know Lester is currently waiting for his package. It is somewhere in San Fran right now. I don't know how it got there as it's waiting to get to him in Oregon. For some reason, it's in San Fran. But Lester, when you get yours, you got a huge package. Trust me, this Dolph Lundgren package is gigantically huge. So, but I'm glad, Chernobyl, if you're out there listening, I'm glad you got your Conan comics. I hope you enjoy them. So it shows you that there are perks to becoming a Dolph Lundgren member. We have a Dolph Lundgren member that's me on the panel, and he knows about how big his huge package is going to be as well. So, yeah, I just got 2 more packages to ship out, and all Dolph Lundgren members will have their huge packages sent to them. So, see, there's perks and benefits of being a Dolph Lundgren member. You get fulfilled packages. So, anyways, Caster, how's it going, man?
Dude, I am doing fantastic. Like, I made a slight mistake this week in reinstalling Final Fantasy 14, and that's just been where all my time is gone. Like, oh yeah, maybe I'll just play it for a little bit. Wait, it's 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
No.
Keep watching.
Oh, man.
Mistakes were made, but they're not unhappy ones.
Watching Conan as you're eating 72 slices of processed cheese. You know, I'm blind.
Oh man. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's suppository.
Even better. Smooth going in.
This is gonna be a good Friday night. I can feel it. I can feel it. And guys in the chat, since you're out here early, we're gonna let you know next week we are talking Wolverine Frank Miller story. That will be next week. So this is saying that hey, if you're here early, you get a great 1 week heads up. Read Wolverine Frank Miller if you somehow haven't. If you have read it, we'll just read it again. Just read it again. So next week, Wolverine, Frank Miller, we'll be talking about next week on this channel. And also, around the springtime, we'll be having Flip City Magazine on here as well. So they're going to be fun. I talked to them on Comic Division channel a little over a year ago. What a blast they are. And it'll be fun to talk some comedy. And, also they're like basically the great modern version of Mad Magazine, maybe even better, even in some regards. So I can't wait to have them on, and of course we'll have some unannounced guests that haven't been yet, but it's gonna be diabolically huge. And of course, I'm sure we'll have to talk about more X-Men stories to touch upon for the coming year. But we got other dudes in the back.
Well, I was just gonna point out, and for anyone who's not on the Gilded, like you got to come onto the Gilded because we were talking a little bit about that today about other stories we might be covering.
That is Wolverine's 50th anniversary.
That's right.
Yep. Posted a video about it. Marvel isn't doing anything about it.
So that means
we'll do more than Marvel.
Why this show is that much more important. We're going to get the job done that Marvel won't. It's not that they can't, because they could. It's that they won't.
Yeah.
So we'll next week we'll get drunk for our fellow Canuck. It'll be great. It'll be diabolical. It'll be fantastic. All right. It's gonna be great.
We're the best of what we do.
Jack Bird, you guys with the reference. I see what those references are. I know them. So all right, let's bring in our other dudes here. We all know this guy. We love this guy as well.
Howdy ho! Hey, what's up, brothers?
How are you, sir?
It has been an interesting couple of weeks. I have been on a quite interesting bender because, well, It was a holiday last week. Also, my kid's birthday was this week. Because of the legal battle that I lost last year, I cannot spend time with him. So I just need to fix something about the youth of my country. I think they are doing too much drugs, and that is hiking the prices stupidly, and it's fucking me, man. I cannot
And that's
deal with
coming
that.
from Pablo.
Yeah, I need to fix my country's youth because they are driving the prices insane, man. But yeah, also I randomly rescued a dog this Wednesday. It was the 21st is my child's birthday, so I went to a bar. I play a bit of Magic. I was going back home, and I see this dog on the middle of the street. This husky, and the guy is obviously from a nice home. He's completely lost with fear of cars and everything. I don't know how he survived because of his weight. He must have spent a couple of days lost. Basically, I stopped the cab that I was in to get the dog inside, and I took him home. And I'm looking for a new place for him because I cannot really afford to keep him. But it's a husky and he's beautiful, and was my kid's birthday, so it was kind of fate.
So Pablo, if you're not, you're telling me you're about to have Ben Riley.
The worst part is because he's a husky, I was thinking if I kept him a name, it will be to be honest, it will be Bucky Barnes.
I'm not objecting. You see me
Bucks the Tank.
complaining. What's the problem?
It's like $40 extra month that I cannot afford, so I cannot really keep him. That's why I'm looking for a home. But in the meanwhile, he's sleeping right next to my dogs. He's really happy. He seems really thankful for being out of the street. Unlike my ex. Sorry. She was not thankful for that.
It's good to have you here, Pablo. It's good to have you. Oren Ultras, welcome to the show, sir. I think it's my first time seeing you on this show. I know I've seen you on Toxic Tuesday, but welcome to the Comic Shop Talk. So what do you expect? He was straight white man. I'm surprised Marvel isn't done. Oh, dude. Oh, they've sorted him up. Oh, I haven't read it, but my buddy Doc from Thinking Critical side, I listened to what him and Wes talk about with what they've done to him. I wouldn't consider myself like a big know-it-all fan, but what I hear those guys talk about Wolverine, it's horrific. It's horrific. And if I was let's just say a Wolverine, like big Wolverine fan, I wouldn't be happy. So let's just say to the Wolverine fans out there, I understand how you feel. I mourn, and that sucks. And yeah, I don't want to imagine what that feels like. Actually, shit, I already have Spider-Man, Daredevil. Never mind. Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. I truly am sorry, but that's why next week we're gonna celebrate in style. We got this, guys. We don't need them. We're gonna make this great. So,
and then at some point we need to do some more of the crossovers, like Wolverine versus Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if I haven't remembered. See, I remember you on Toxic Tuesday. At least I got that. So. Yeah, maybe it was the drunkenness, but we got other dudes to bring in here before we do show and tell tonight. Hold the thought. I know it's exciting, but we gotta clobber, and he'll clobber you if he waits too long. So, and I won't stop him. I won't.
Chloe, you're muted.
I thought Daredevil was blind, not deaf.
Oh, that was the perfect intro. We're not gonna top that tonight.
Hey, what? Oh, am I on? Oh, I thought I was muted.
This thing's live.
I'm having a nightmare. Dreamed I was like on Nick's show or something. I'm glad I'm not. I'm just talking to myself like in a comic book, like people do all the time, but I'm not. It's funny how they do that, and they talk to themselves. This is my thought balloons saying, "Gosh, darn it! I'm glad I wasn't really on the air or anything." Oh, there you are. Oh my goodness, me naked like this. Let me change my clothes. Well. There we go. Oh, there we go. Hey, friends, what's happening? What are you bothering me for about now?
We're bothering you just so we can have you around here so you can admire some show and tell. And also, I saw what you were reading yesterday on the Twitters, which we're going to highlight that later. And I want to tell people about that because that was a glorious cover to look at. And I've seen some of the interiors on that. And I'm just like,
the comic, that's one of my favorite issues. I just at random, as a matter of fact. Though
I think that should be our one-on-one show because I have not read that story in its entirety, and I feel like we should definitely. I think that should be our
it'll change your outlook on Lois. It'll change your outlook on Lois Lane. That's for sure.
Okay, well, all the more reason. So let's do it.
Brilliant commentary on what Lois Lane was. A total
piece of work.
Piece of I will see. I'm looking forward to it. Oren said that he's worked with Hugh, and he was they should have gone Glenn Danzig, man. Just saying, guy's got the height, he's got the muscle. It should have been Glenn Danzig. I mean, I get why Hugh was probably starting to be popular at the time, but it should have been Glenn Danzig. Full stop. What's up, John Rupus? Shaggy, and the Gilded King is here. The Gilded King, Vince Womack.
Yeah,
we had a great showing of cartoons. Me, him, and Christian yesterday. It was awesome. But we got two dudes waiting ever so patiently in the back. And, well, the least we could do is slide them on in. One of them is a common nerd who is back on YouTube as the Common Nerds. How's it going, sir? And he's muted. And he boomed it right away. Back
there we
go.
Two in a row. full-time live streaming individual, and yes, I absolutely boomer the fuck out of everything, but that's what keeps everybody coming back and laughing, so it works out really nice. Say what? You started a betting pool?
Yeah, we know you're gonna boomer up, we just don't know how.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody better cut me in on that. Jesus, what the fuck? But yeah, no, got a 24-hour member stream coming up later this evening that I'm going to do, but got into the Rumble Small Creators program, so I've been kind of growing a little bit extra more over there. We're like 10 followers away from 600, I think, over on Rumble. Yeah, so that's pretty freaking cool. And gonna do that. Trying to Quarterback Garrett really wants me to ride to Vegas with him. But I have to raise a certain amount of money in order to do that, because my wife would have to take the week off work in order for me to ride with him all the way out there and to be at meetups and all of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of one of the reasons. The other reason we're doing the 24-hour streams too, and hopefully Garrett gets some time in the month of March to come over and do video game streams with me like he promised. So that's one of the other reasons why we're doing the 24-hour stream too, trying to raise money for all of that. So hopefully we can pull that off. We basically got a month to do it. We'll see what we can pull off in a month. But yeah, it should be fun because I definitely want to make it to Vegas. And Quarterback Garrett even teased me. He's got this gift for me inside this box, and I don't know where he ordered it from, and it wasn't recorded because it was in the background. And he was like, "If you ride to Vegas with me, I'll give this to you." I'm like, "You son of a bitch." So come check out.
I hope check me out on Rumble, man.
Yeah,
I hope this happens. I believe that it can happen. Welcome, 11 Alpha. Evening all. I'm way out of my element here. I think I own one comic, though in 3 versions. Well, even though you're out of your element, you're going to have fun here because we drink and we talk comics. So you're out of the element, but we're going to make you feel in. Meanwhile, we got another guy returning to the show. Welcome back, Diesel.
Dude.
There's more than meets the eye.
Hey, Diesel.
Hey,
what's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Dude, you got to please excuse the shit-eating grin. I'm just stoked that, I get to, come on and talk Transformers with the Comic Relief Crusader, one of my brothers. And
never heard of him. Oh, there he is right there.
Dude, this is cool. I'm just
hey, buddy.
Man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm just glad to be on here. And, of course, with my brother Jesse and Pablo and Ironcaster, and, of course, you, Nick, one of the coolest metalheads on the planet.
Oh, thanks. I'm just a guy. That's all I am. I'm just some dude who somehow has subscribers, and nothing about it makes any sense. If we're gonna be very fair and honest with each other, nothing. It's all silly. It's the weirdest gag ever. But I'm happy, and we have actual people here who listen to us, which is even weirder and crazier. But I'm happy that we have 20 people who decide, hey, we're gonna spend Friday night hanging out here. So I'm happy for all of that, and all of you on the panel. Let's have fun. Yeah, all 22. Yeah. The numbers going up. How you been, Diesel? It's been a while, man.
Oh, I'm all right, man. I gotta have well, I'm gonna have to have another. I had like 4 hernias sewed up in the beginning of January, and now I have another one, and I went to go get an imaging done today, drinking some contrast, and had a CT scan done to see what's going on. I'm kind of a lunatic because like I'm a recovering alcoholic, man, and like I kind of pour my the madness in my brain into working out and exercise and stuff like that. And I waited like the 5 weeks that they said, and I kind of eased back into some stuff, and like another one came up. So they're gonna check to see if I've got other partially torn things, man. It could just be, it's just one of those things that I guess maybe the muscle's real thin down there and whatnot, but it's no big deal, man. I'll get through it. It's not like I'm cracking my femur or anything. So
I thought you were gonna say you found out you were pregnant.
Oh.
Is it Optimus or is it Bumblebee?
Diesel,
So
I
make it
think
supreme.
That's gonna be a very
think you
painful
need-
pregnancy. Human giving birth to robot.
I think you need to do a heavy push to get exoskeletons finally developed. That is the cure of hernia. You just need an Iron Man suit.
That's why
it.
C-sections were invented.
There you go.
Oh no, but when I have to get this one fixed, dear Lord, I hope they the last one that was just like I got up to pee, and man, I'm telling you, dude, I think they dipped that catheter in sand because it's you ever seen Ghost Rider? When Ghost Rider goes to pee in one of the movies and it's just fire shot out, that's what it was like. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Ah! Yeah, that wasn't pleasant. That was not fun.
Burning ring of fire. I
know, right? That's what it was, and it was like that for like half the day. Every time I was just like, ah! I was just like, whoa.
What's up, Read by Nature? Welcome to the show, sir. Thanks for dropping in. So, all right, I want to do some shameless plugs because before we get on with show and tell, talking energy, being drunk and shitty in every city. I want to give out some shameless plugs because that's what we do here when we talk about the plugin. So the first plug, I'm a part of Wes from Thinking Critical's Patreon, and why this is important is because on the Patreon we are currently doing this thing where every week we are talking individual issues of Planetary and whatever's the Miller book we're talking. We just finished doing all 6 issues of Wanted, and we are now going to be transitioning to issue 7 of Planetary onto the next Miller World book as well. So I feel like you should all know about that because that's cool. That's fantastic. And well, dude, it's a good time on there. Also, you get to hear Doc rant about the X-Men a lot. And I mean a lot. You want to hear this guy knows his X-Men too. Like, holy crap. Also, you get a lot of great insight from Mr. Aaron Sparrow as well, who's a big G.I. Joe Transformers guy as well. So just saying, you need this. You need this in your life. So I had to give a shout out. Also, I want to give one extra shout out to my buddy Hojo here, who's right now currently funding The Mythicals #2. I know he's on his Second Chance campaign on Indiegogo as well. So please check out his comic book. I've read his comic book. I had a very fun time with it, with a great cliffhanger. That's the link to it. Please check it out. Also, Mike Barron is shipping out Florida Man versus Hogzilla. He shipped me a copy through DM. I'm going to review it. So that'll be done for the channel. And also, I did a trailer reaction. I did it on the Critical Drinkers movie, Rogue Elements. Do check that out after the stream or the next morning. Please check it out. And welcome to the channel. Whole Cage says, so you're saying we need some sex appeal? Sounds like, no, we already have it. I'm not saying anything. It's already there. Yeah, we're already there. Anyways, since we got the dudes here, we got a crowd in the chat. Let's do this. Oh, it's Friday night, guys. Let's party. All right, let's do it. All right.
Let's do it now.
Dude,
Cheers,
I
beers, no
got
more fears.
a really cheap beer the other day, and I'm totally hooked. For some reason, it's an actually good beer. It costs 69
absolutely
cents.
good
By the
beer.
way, nice price.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
69 cents.
Yeah.
Dude, it's from Holland. National
Wow.
beer is over $2. This shit is in a can, is 69 cents, and tastes like bliss. I'm absolute hooked.
So the people of Denmark are cheap drunks.
Cheap drunks.
Interesting.
They're cheap
Thanks
dates.
God to that.
man. By that logic, they're cheap dates.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's why I just make my own wine. I'm the cheapest date you'll find. I take $20 of grape juice and turn it into 5 gallons of wine.
Hey, prison wine?
Jesse makes prison wine, man.
Yeah.
No, it is not prison wine.
You're a Christian.
I use actual proper yeast in the whole nine.
Wait, that's what you don't. Do you make it in the toilet?
It's not prison wine because he has to be convicted first.
Yeah, there you go.
My brother made-
They'll
Catch
never
me, I'm
find the body.
gingerbread man. Yeah.
My brother made his own wine in the closet one time. He didn't even filter the yeast. And me back in the day, I was like, I'll drink it.
Jesse,
Sorry,
you
the
are
shits
not
for
harvesting
days.
the yeast from those candles they sell on Goop, right?
Oh,
The ones from Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, gross. No, I buy
just
my
gotta make
yeast
sure I
from
heard that
Amazon,
right.
and it's wine yeast from Amazon is what
Okay.
I buy. Fucking nasty ass.
Smells a little nutty, but
Disgusting.
why does this taste like fish?
yeah, exactly.
We just started, and it's
We
already
just
downhill,
started.
and I love
Yeah,
it.
and it's only going to get worse from here, ladies and gentlemen. It's only going to
Oh,
get worse
yeah.
from here. I
It
promise you.
always,
I promise you that.
always does. This will be no exception to the rule. This, if anything,
minute.
it's the gold standard.
Nick wanted a classy show to talk about comic books, but here we are perving it up.
Yeah, man. Like,
Let me just smell. There's some more. I don't know if it smells right. So
The worst
know,
part is
wait.
that I
It
have
smells
been
like a
enjoying
Captain
comics.
D's dumpster.
Let's bring it back to comics. Our fellow here, our comic relief crusader. Yeah, he's got some stuff to play show and tell. So can we zoom in
God.
on you while you show off your goods?
I suppose, yeah, because I've been on.
All
I've
right,
been on
we're
a-
going
I've
all
been on a-
in, dude. We're
been,
going all in.
all in. Giver.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. First, I picked this up. See, I got a guy next door, right? And he's got like a bunch of comics for sale in long boxes. And I'm guessing,
Nice.
yeah, this is like in such mint
Dude,
shape.
great
And I got it for like
issue. Great
$5.
issue.
It's $5.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh,
Very
That's
good.
dope,
that.
man. $5.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, looking at the spine, there's not even a wrinkle in anywhere on this cover whatsoever.
That's the first of the direct sales series, the Baxter. They call it Baxter paper.
Yeah.
That started in '84. They canceled the new Teen Titans, turned into Tales of Teen Titans, and they relaunched the series. As you can see, he's Nightwing on there, and great book. And Perez and Wolfman still did it for a while.
So I've never read Teen Titans before, so
Oh, wow.
that's gonna be my first. And
But you
so,
should
yeah,
start with the
that.
series before that, though. Nick has.
Okay, I will
You
do
should
that.
start like volume 1, number 1. Actually, DC Comics presents number 26 if you want to get technical about it. But then you'll get to that because that's still good. But you got like 50 some odd or more than that issues where it was before that. You'd be jumping in late if you did that.
Okay, not a problem. The another one I picked up was 281.
Look
New
at those
X-Men.
muscles. Those things are giant muscles.
I know, right?
That is
Oh,
that
I
cover.
love Walt's
That's
Bertasio's
fucking
art.
gorgeous.
Oh yeah, totally. And again, like these are all like mint. Like over at his place, I can pick up like probably like 5 Excalibur number 1s, right? That are just
Oh, dude, I love Excalibur.
Yeah, I can pick up a whole whack of them. Let's see, found this one, Youngblood Strike File. I think that's like number 4. Oh no, number
You're
1.
such an image guy.
I know, right?
Leafy.
Let's see. Oh, and then
Welcome to the show, Flatus a Sphere. I love that name.
And then
Yeah.
I found these really old one by Continuity Comics, and Clubby probably remembers those.
Yeah,
Bucky
Neil Adams.
O'Hare.
Yeah, Neil Adams company was called Continuity Comics. Yeah, that's Michael Golden stuff there.
Yep. Bucky
Yeah,
O'Hare.
Larry Hama and Michael Golden actually, but yeah, Michael Golden.
Yep.
Nice.
So I found those. Let's see. I picked up issue 283 of Thor.
Oh, there you go.
So got that.
Hey,
Celestial,
a celestial that acknowledges that there was a celestial there.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Daredevil.
Oh, Gil Kane issue cover anyway.
Oh.
Torpedo, love it.
Hungry Boy suggested this one that I
The cover.
study. I have to study this one because this is on Hungry Boy's study list. So
Well, he means probably for the art on the cover by Gil Kane, I'd imagine.
exactly. Let's see. Then I picked up a reprint of Void Rivals number 1.
Dope.
So
Good.
I got that. Let's see. Third print of Transformers number 1.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
first print of Transformers number 1.
That's
Yeah.
Never read it.
And then I got Punisher Wolverine, the African Saga.
Oh,
nice, dude.
Yep. Oh yeah, and I got
love
that
the
one.
cover.
What did I get that one for? $5? Yeah, $5. Let's see. Picked up Wildcats number 1. Still has the
Woo!
card inside.
Oh boy.
Yep. And this, to me,
What I do?
this Thor has never been matched by any other artist. So I got Walt Simonson's.
Simonson.
I love Walt Simonson's.
That's and that's early on in the run, which started at 337, so that's close.
exactly,
Guys,
exactly.
can we get a huge
And then I got X-Men number 1.
chat
So,
for that? Let's load the chat with huges for that. That is wow.
oh yeah,
Somehow.
I've always loved Walt Simonson's Thor, and then
He was great. Yeah, I love him.
I saved. Where'd I have it? Frick, I had it right here. Just like a,
You know, I was just looking at some. I was just looking up some trades for the Walt Simonson era of Thor, and it's such a shame they never put out the Epic Collection for that yet. And I
No,
think it's
I
one
know,
they're trying to
right?
hold off till like the last minute.
They've done some trades though, but yeah.
Alpha Flight 2 and 3.
Yes.
Burden's Alpha Flight. Yeah.
Yep, Burns Alpha Flight. I'm not going to show that Batman. That was free comic book day and that shit. Let's see. Marvel.
I remember that.
Oh,
Wow.
that's the big
I know, right? So I found that. I love that friggin' Art Adams cover. Man, it is like so cool.
The oversized.
Where did that?
I like where this is going. It feels very good.
Really big show.
Oh yeah, and this one, like here in Carstairs where I'm at, we got like this little. It's like a little booth, like a free library kind of thing, right? And I found this inside Savage.
oh, baby.
Yeah,
Man, that is
Man, this
and
is
it was in the rain, right? And it was just lightly sprinkled on. And oh my god, like the art is just fantastic. I love it.
Man, look at that. That is sick.
Great. Oh yeah, yeah.
That
Especially
was a good
picture
era
of it.
for Conan.
It's,
I knew you were liking it, Pablo.
oh,
Yeah.
Where's that one particular page? It was like super sexy.
Oh, there's a lot of sexy and a lot of blood in that era.
Oh my god, you got like artwork like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
huge. Huge
Huge.
Well, Savage Sword reprints in there probably.
Oh yeah.
Very
yeah.
cool, nice stuff. Alcala.
Found all that.
She's
I'm
quite
gonna-
heavily dressed for that era.
I know, right? So that's my study material as
Nice.
I'm practicing with Hungry Boy, because especially with Conan, right? You know, if you want to get musculature right and all that kind of stuff, that's what I want to do, right? So
Hungry Boy knows it.
oh, he does. So but
Knows his stuff.
yeah, so that's what I got. So aside from some of the art that I'm freaking, doing here and there and blah blah blah. So yeah.
That is awesome, man.
I
Nice,
like it.
nice.
You got
haul.
a hell of a pull list.
Dude, that is a
Oh, dude
Man.
even has like 140s, some 1940s or 1950s like DC comics in there too. That I'm gonna pull, right?
Hey,
you're gonna pull.
Nick,
gonna pull.
since
Gonna pull
we're
hard.
doing some we're talking a little comic stuff, can I show you the haul I picked up over the last
Yes,
couple months,
of course.
man?
All right, you're zooming in now. You're next.
Dude, I had traded like my best friend, like basically my Marvel run of Transformers. I had a bunch of them, and it just got to me, and I was telling Jesse, I was like, I had to pick. I just started picking some of them up, man, and so I kind of started. I had like 1 through 5, so I went back and I picked up.
Yeah. I love that cover.
Shockwave, like
Hell yeah.
messed up Megatron, man. Some of these covers are absolutely just beautiful too. 7.
Hey.
Yes.
Is that the issue where they wind up like fused together?
No,
that's
a good ways down from that, man. That was that showed their original thing, like Ratchet, like basically all the Autobots were trashed, and Shockwave had he put a beat down on Megatron, like something awful. That issue 6 that I showed on the cover, he just broke him. And so Megatron was left guarding the Ark, and all the Autobots were basically wiped out from where Shockwave had taken him out. And so Ratchet runs into Megatron, and he like tricks him, and then brings in the Dinobots to help him fight Megatron.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you don't know about the Dinobots, do you?
No.
Oh, the Dinobots.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, yeah.
Hey, remember, I've been learning the last few months. So
that's the first issue. Basically, they had been sent to Earth and followed Shockwave there, and then were like some dinosaurs. They went up in a tar pit.
Yeah.
Well, also that they just announced this year that we're getting like a comic accurate version of Grimlock as a figure.
Yeah. Yeah, that is dope.
I think it was like Alan Cooperberg that did what was it, issue 6, and then then the one with Circuit Breaker.
Yeah, she's the one that she enhanced herself. She was paralyzed by Shockwave and went out to wipe out all Transformers.
Dude, I gotta tell you, in issue 7 there with Ratchet and Megatron, William Johnson did some amazing work in that one.
Oh, the art was fantastic in 7 and 8.
Yeah.
In 7 and 8, some of the art in there that's some of the best art there were. Issue 7 and then issue 8 was done by that guy did. Yeah. He was fantastic.
Vince, I will not object. I'm just saying, if you do, you're not going to see me complaining about my Thursday mornings. So
that was a good one.
you got my attention between that and 2002 He-Man. I mean, dude,
first appearance of Devastator.
Ooh, oh, hey, speaking of Devastator, that character had a bit of a moment recently.
Yep.
You know,
and there was actually just a recent listing that had been coming out that's been teasing that we're getting a new version of the Devastator. We're getting like the Studio Series Constructicons.
Studio Series Devastator. Yep.
Maybe I thought you were talking about the last issue.
I was referencing the last issue. What's up, the Nightwing? How you doing, man?
He's with Devastator without balls.
Nice.
Oh man.
Oh,
dude.
Trivia too.
This is probably one of the coolest Transformers stories ever. Megatron, after that fight with Ratchet, shrunk down into gun mode and was basically had no memory of himself or anything. His memory circuits were all jumbled up, and then this low-level like mob guy wound up finding him and wound up like taking over the whole city, like using Megatron as like his gun.
That was Don Perlin's first issue that he did that.
That is it. It was pretty cool. Then we got here we go.
Stephen M. Kellel likes what you're doing here, Diesel.
Oh, thanks, dude. Here's some of the Autobots at a Bruce Springsteen concert.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that one.
Maybe they were just dancing in the dark. Who knows?
Yeah.
It was well at one point like one of the earlier issues, like Jazz pulls up and like he's playing a Madonna song from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
Living in the material world. That was funny.
Robot Master. Hey, it was government psyops even in the Transformers comic, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
Now this one, this is a one-off right here. This is Graham Nolan's art. This whole book is full of Graham Nolan's art. He only did one
interiors
issue.
And all.
Yep.
He did. Yeah, here I'll show you some of this stuff. And back then,
show it, man.
This was like considered like some of the best Transformers art. People would talk about it in like the letter section and everything.
It was pretty good.
It's really cool. Like some of the fake.
Look at the big robots. Oh, look at the color too.
He did a really.
It's Bumblebee before he gets his face blasted off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this was he did a lot of certain things. One thing that was really cool right here at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They actually showed the Decepticons need like something out of Bumblebee, and he drew the actual toy inside the comic book. That's basically like what the little G1 toy was. It was pretty. I thought that back then was pretty cool. They're analyzing him, and they needed some kind of circuit or MacGuffin or something that he had. And then they were looking at the screen, and they had his toy art, which was pretty cool. But
that piece of artwork right there, the first page, that's actually from the Hasbro toy manufacturer of the assembly of the actual toy.
That is
yeah.
There's awesome. You can just look. It's a certain style, and people I remember in the like in the letters in the back used to talk about this issue. They were talking about how this was like their favorite. Some of the just the way that like it was completely different from the other art, but I thought it was really good. It would have been nice to have seen what if Graham like had worked on more Transformers issues.
Are these first editions, Diesel? Do you know?
Do what?
Do you know if these are first editions, sir? We got
these are all newsstand editions. All of them except for the ones that had the, like the Spider-Man one. Because they've got the
UPC code,
yeah, they got the UPC code. Like the other ones, because most of these I bought off the rack, so I went and looked to see if I could find the ones that were like on the stand. Now the other ones that have like, let's see what we got, like. It's got the Spider-Man thing. If I'm not mistaken, these were if you bought from Marvel directly.
No, that was or comic shops. It's the direct sales. If it were distributed to a comic shop, your only difference is going to be the shape of the logo under with the price, and that would be the UPC code was replaced with in the case of DC, just like a DC emblem. In the case of Marvel, usually a Spider-Man head or whatever.
Yep.
And they also changed right there underneath, like the Optimus Prime. That's an M.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a rectangle before with the other.
Yeah, it's basically to avoid you returning the comics if you don't get to sell them.
Yep.
Now this is probably one of my favorite covers that they ever did. They just meanwhile back on Cybertron, it shows Blaster falling into the smelting pit.
And that's a newsstand edition. So there you go.
I believe that was when they brought in Jaxus.
They brought in. It was a guy named Straxus. He was like the Decepticon warlord over Darkmount at the time.
Is this a
Jaxus came in Generation 2, but the guy's name was Straxus Jaxus, but Straxus was. And in the UK comics, they had a whole storyline after he got blowed up. Real good, and it was like his head, and it wound up like controlling Megatron. There was the UK comics were great. They they would make a comic. They did it bi-weekly instead of monthly, so they were able to put in stories that I believe. Now I still haven't found out exactly. I think almost all of it Simon Furman. I can't remember if he was the one that started out the original UK stuff by himself, or if there was somebody else. But I know he did most of all the Transformers UK, and eventually became the head writer on the US series as well for the whole shebang.
My understanding to how I know it is that Simon Furman wasn't there initially, but it was after, I want to say, about 20 or so issues that he was brought in to kind of help fill in the gaps because the Marvel UK was taking these American stories and they would split them in two. So they would get to put them out like twice a month or like every week. And
like
so
every
they
2
would
weeks in England.
They would have to go and fill in those gaps by creating original stories.
Yeah.
And the guy has gone on to become so prolific that for practically every iteration of Transformers ever since, he has worked on them in some way, shape, or form. Up to this point, not counting what we're going through with Skybound.
Right. So before we continue on, Diesel, I just want to say thank you for subscribing, Optimus Clyde. It can't be a total coincidence that we gained a new subscriber with the first name Optimus while we are streaming Talk About Transformers. That's absolutely wild. And shout out to TZ Burton, welcome to the show. And to Mohammed said, aka Conquest, says, "Hail, I'm still reading Forever People issue 3. Tomorrow I plan to read more Fourth World Run. Start Fantastic Four." Oh, dude.
Nice.
You're at a pivotal moment, Fantastic Four. Oh, dude. Hell yeah, man. Keep me informed,
That's
dude.
Coming of Galactus. Coming of Galactus.
Yep.
Starts number 48.
Keep us informed. What's up, Dustin? Mr. Keto Simple
Keto
One.
Simple.
All right. Diesel. Oh, there is Optimus Clyde. Hey, thanks for dropping in, man.
Hey.
Glad you're here.
I know that guy.
So, all right.
That is what Caster's talking about is absolutely true. Simon Furman is like, he's basically like, he's been there and came up with so much of the lore. He's great. He's been in and he's wrote some fantastic stuff, but it's really cool about that. And
he's effectively the Larry Hama for Transformers.
yes, he is. He is. Yeah. Him and I would say Bob Budiansky too, because Bob Budiansky, that guy cannot get enough credit with coming up with the stuff. He basically came up with the personality. Some of the, not all of the initial names, but I think Optimus Prime might have been there. But he came up with all of their personalities in the tech specs on the toys. That was Bob Budiansky, because it was like a joint venture with like Marvel and Hasbro. How they put that together, and it's amazing that they just captured this lightning in a bottle. They went over to Japan, found these transforming toys, came back, put a story to it, and it's just generations dig it. And of course, it's cool. I love it. I love it. So.
The Japanese actually understood that boys will go crazy over giant robots, especially if they can transform into cool cars. That and macros is basically the reason why Japanese media goes so big into the toy market on the US. It's got them cool. It's just that.
I mean, who doesn't like? I mean, that's what's so cool about Japan. They've got a giant, like, life-size Gundam that actually comes out. They've got it in like
the hangar.
Yeah. It'll walk out and do stuff, and I'm just like,
well,
awesome.
Not for much longer. That's, I think, in the next month or so they're taking that down.
Oh,
no.
Really?
Why?
Because, well, for one thing, it's been there for a few years, and they probably have to go and replace a few parts if they were to keep it around. But it was always supposed to be sort of a bit of a show for, just to kind of help push the Gundam kits.
Yeah,
and plus, this is certainly not the first Gundam statue we've gotten there, or transforming Gundam. They'll probably replace it with another one. I would want to say Wing, but I don't see them doing that for aerodynamic reasons. Basically, there will be others.
Right.
Gundam.
Yeah, there's also an Optimus Prime statue there somewhere too, if I'm not mistaken.
And the whole crew of One Piece.
That is just
man,
small country.
We're taking the geeking to 11 tonight. Meanwhile, well, I got my eye on this Dreadnought figure Buzzer caster. Just saying.
Oh,
I've got my eye on
oh,
that. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe tonight I'll get drunk enough and I might buy it. We'll see.
Hey, which one? Now, I please excuse me getting a little bit confused because, like, I do love G.I. Joe, but Transformers is my main jam. Is Buzzer?
No, dude.
Is Buzzer or Ripper? Which one has? One of them has the. Who has the chainsaw? Is
Buzzer.
Ripper.
Buzzer.
Okay.
He's in the newest issue of Cobra Commander.
Yes. That's
Buzzer.
what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah. And back with the first appearance of Omega Supreme.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a good Don Perlin issue.
Yes, that was
So good.
then. Skids hits his head, falls asleep, and has a dream about having a one-on-one duel with Megatron.
God, that issue made Skids one of my favorite characters. One of my
I know,
favorite
right?
ones. Plus, he gets
no
like
love
Colleen
in
up on him, like rubbing him down, washing him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. It was like Skids got no love in the cartoon, but this issue focused entirely on Skids. It was pretty cool.
That's
and
probably
Alpha,
where we got the
real
whole
quickly.
Mega Box thing for the first movie.
Could be. It could be. You're right about that because some of the stuff is exactly.
Yep.
You know what? That's exactly right. She was pulling. Well, she was lifting the hood and looking. That's almost like some of those panels where she's washing him. Good.
that cameraman did God's work there.
I know.
Aerial bots.
Yes.
This is another one. I couldn't find a good newsstand one, but I got one of the.
Hey, you got a copy. That's what matters.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly, man. But this, and then we have.
Oh, and that had the first Insecticons too.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Yep.
the Stunticons, because one of the Insecticons put a Cerebro shell inside Optimus Prime, but Optimus Prime was so powerful he couldn't control him. But they were somehow able to use it when he gave life to the aerial bots to give life to the Stunticons.
Yep.
Oh.
And then
You're transitioning. 11 Alpha, I see you're mentioning, even though they're not all female, I see you mentioned Japan. I will strongly recommend you check out Anthem from Japan. They put out an album last year called Crimson and Jet Black. And they've been around for like 30 years, and they're from Japan, and you will love them. And then you're going to come back to Nick and be like, Nick, you were right. And I'll be like, I was. I'm glad you listened. Anyways, Diesel, continue with your Transformers greatness.
this one is fantastic. Run them up and runabout. See, this is why I'm like, I wish I had some spare cash because I want the X Transbots. Run them up and runabout.
Oh, Diesel.
Yes, you've got them, dude. Yes, you've got them. I love
got
it.
the both. They're so
Cobra
good,
Crusader.
Diesel.
Oh, dude. Those two characters, this comic right here.
Look, hey, look what D-Bud said. That's the one he bought. Oh,
yeah. I'm
These
so
guys,
glad I pushed Keith.
Oh, that is, dude, those are the such, I love the design, the way they drew them in this comic.
Yeah.
Is so cool, dude. Yes. And then, you know, they went and spray painted the Statue of Liberty because they were like wanting to piss off, like to make fun of the human.
Yeah.
They were kind of like the way they talked, it was almost kind of Beavis and Butthead. They were like, let's go do this. And then they went and were like spraying a bunch of Cybertronian graffiti and no one knew what they were saying. And they're like, how come they're not mad? I'm like, so then they figured out how to write in English and they wrote human or wimps on that. And the last one I got was when they this was how they killed Optimus Prime in the comic.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's getting shot on the dick.
Nah.
This is why
That was the first one I got.
a lot of these movies they don't get Optimus Prime's character right. In this computer simulation, they were going to steal this. The Decepticons were going to steal a part, so the Autobots go to stop them, and it's the Combaticons and the Protectobots.
Yeah.
And the computer programmer says, "Look, instead of like wiping everything out and then destroying the thing that you came here for, why don't you fight inside this computer?" And then they hooked it up so that whoever lost it would blow up either Optimus Prime or Megatron. And basically, Megatron cheats because he had Vortex was like doing surveillance on the place and found out like his password Afterlife that would make him come back after he died in the game. He shot Optimus Prime, but Optimus Prime still was able to take Megatron out inside the game. But because some of the innocent characters inside the game were killed, Optimus Prime said that he lost because he let innocent life die inside of a game that he said, no, press my button instead of Megatron. That's Optimus Prime's character. That's why he would never take an innocent life. He would never say, hey, I don't trust the humans, anything like that. He would just, and you could kind of say that it's kind of silly, that, especially with the stakes of the war, but Optimus Prime is a principled, he's a principled bot character, whatever you say.
That's his
he stands by it. He protects all life, and because he would never, because the Transformers brought their war to Earth, he would never allow an innocent to be harmed because that's why he's got the guilt of all of the things that happen on Cybertron, plus what goes on Earth. This constantly, all those deaths that happen under his leadership are constantly weighing on him, and he's carrying that with him all the time. And that's why he's such the character. That's why it's just they never got in right in any of the movies except maybe the first one. That's his character. He would never allow an innocent to be harmed because of what they've done. And and all the stuff, like I said, all the deaths, everything that happened on Cybertron, that's all weighing on him constantly. And that's why he's I think that's why, he's just that character. He's like the pinnacle of like leadership and good. It's like, he's like somebody, like Braveheart. You'd follow him, you paint yourself blue and follow him into battle. It wouldn't matter because like just the way he is, he inspires everyone just by the way that he's, his actions and the way that he is.
I will say in the first movie, they didn't nail the character until the speech at the end.
When he was on the dam, when I thought they got that when he was on, when Nest, the Sector 7 guys took Bumblebee and he said, there's no way to save Bumblebee without harming the humans. Let them leave. And then when he was sitting there at the dam and he was giving the speech, he's like, I think it was like Ratchet was like, why are we fighting to save the humans? They're a primitive and violent race. And he goes, were we so different? I've seen goodness among them. And he goes into saying like freedom is the right of all sentient beings. And it was just, that was cool. And that part right there, they nailed his character, and that's why that first movie is all right. But
that's the only movie that of the first 3 or 4 movies I saw at the one I was able to finish and enjoy.
Yeah,
the only one I was ever able to finish. I was close to watching Bumblebee a few days ago, but I didn't do it. I didn't follow through.
That was pretty good too. It's not bad.
Okay.
No,
I heard nothing but good stuff about Bumblebee, but the big issue was that just there was so much of the bad taste of Michael Bay in the public's mouth that people were not, by that point, after like 6 bad sequels, no one was willing to go say it and say, yeah, I'll try it a 7th time.
Yeah, I fell asleep after I think halfway the 3rd one, and that was I quit.
My favorite part of the 4th movie, which is where they replaced Shia LaBeouf with Marky Mark, was the fact that like in that movie they killed T.J. Miller. And he gets like turned into like the metal they use to make Transformers.
Yeah, that was. I forgot about that.
And like it's like never addressed again. I think they maybe have one line that says, "Oh, sorry, your friend died," because like I cannot stand this. I could not stand T.J. Miller. I cheered when he died.
Yeah. That movie though, that's the worst. I think that's the worst one of all of them. That movie is like, I don't know. It's just like,
hey, look, it's the writer of Jupiter.
Hey, Jason.
Whoa, Jason. We got a rock star in the chat. Whoa. Aren't you too good for us, man? I mean,
I gotta say though, I read
we're not worthy. Just saying. We're not
I have to, every time it's brought up, I gotta say it, man. I read Jupiter, like it took me a while. It was a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month or so ago. That's one of the most if not the most original thing I have ever read. It was I was just trying to I was having to talk to James. I was like, dude, your thought process behind this. I was like, that's just crazy. He actually put a little just for me, he put a little nod, a little Easter egg for Transformers in there on one of the panels. He drew some, and I could not find it for anything. He had to point it out to me, but
this is a very notable comment from Stephen M. Says the first movie's okay, which most people seem to be on that side. The rest were garbage, in my opinion, except for Bumblebee. That's the only one I'll rewatch from time to time. Okay, I'm gonna watch that this weekend.
Watch it. It's good.
I'm gonna watch it. I know it did well, which is funny because I know it opened up to low numbers because the interest was not there because of the stigma of some of the other movies that was right before it. But it did have legs, which no one saw coming. Like no one saw coming. So okay, that's a nerd. And you carry on, dude. We're having fun.
I forgot. I had one more that I still kept.
Sure.
I didn't have to buy this one because I kept this one because this right here.
Yeah.
This was one of the best issues. It was Megatron versus the Predacons. Megatron versus Predaking.
That was such a good issue.
Yes, it was, man. It was hardcore, dude.
And he takes out
Predaking, man.
Yeah.
It's Megatron. You don't mess with Megatron, dude.
But especially when he gets his face torn off.
His face is ripped off.
Dude. So cool.
I know, right? And he just still that is a brutal, hardcore freaking comic.
But I like that they wrote him like going totally schizo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Optimus Prime dying messed with him so bad that this is somebody who's been fighting for millions of years, and he kind of went into himself and thought that Optimus Prime was still alive and kept seeing. And by the end, he winds up like he thinks that guy could have copied his mind. He basically figured out what the guy had done. He copied Optimus Prime's mind when he brought him into that game and put it on a disc. Put it on a 5 3/4 floppy disk too, which is kind of funny thinking about it. But Megatron
makes him go more schizo.
Yeah, it's But hey, thank you for letting me show off my pickups, man. I appreciate it, dude. That's
my pleasure.
Yeah, big time, man. I was like, I was like, I kept seeing stuff, and I was like, I traded this to my best friend. I'm not about to do, because he's got them displayed. He got him a spinner rack. He went to like a thrift store and found for like, I think it was like, he got like the nice big spinner rack. It was in great shape. I think he paid.
I'm hoping to get one in the next few weeks. I saw a spinner rack. I'm like, it might be calling out to me. It might be, and so I might have to respond. And yes, Tyrannus Cygnus, what's up, buddy? Says Loudness is very cool. But dude, I want a spinner rack because that way I can add it over here, because I'm gonna be adding a Spider-Man poster or Cobra poster. So for the movie side, I want to add in a spinner rack over here. That way I can like spin, rotate, show what I've been reading.
Those things are fun. Dude, I think Jason scored.
They're expensive.
He got it. I think he got it for $50. He got that spinner rack for $50. Yes, I know, right?
Well,
I know, and it's not rusted or anything. It's like in great shape, and he paid like $50.
You know, the other fun thing with the spin rack is you just like swap books out and then see if anyone in the chat notices.
But you know what? More importantly, I think we've established that Nick likes spinners. I couldn't help
it. No, dude, here on this show, you don't help yourself. That's scary when you do.
The spinner rack makes me think like a smell, dude. A lot of these places, I tell you, the smell of like the freaking, like the pharmacy that they used to be in. I know where you guys are thinking. I was just thinking about the smell of like the pharmacy that they had the spinner rack in where I pick up the comics. it was just a certain smell, man. You walk in there and it just smelled like that pharmacy. And then I don't know, it's hard to, I can't like, unless you like got it back in the day. I'm sure Comic Relief Crusader and Clavi know what I'm talking about. That smell, man. When you, I don't know, it smelled like a drugstore and comic books.
No, totally.
I know, man. I missed that. That's some stuff. We've lost some stuff, man. That was so cool back in the day. And I didn't, and you know, if I didn't,
I've said this many times on this show. I'm gonna say it again for the millionth time. New comic book smell should be a cologne.
yes,
I would wear it.
Yes.
I wouldn't stop wearing it.
Oh, the collection.
Yeah,
Talking about that, okay, I have a weird complaint. One of my favorite pleasures on life was opening a booster of Magic the Gathering cards and smelling the fresh ink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast are running their own presses for the new sets. I opened a set, it smells like shit. They ruin one of the best things about opening a Magic the Gathering package, and is that fresh ink smell that is absolutely beautiful. Nah, they ruin it. I don't know how you cannot ruin acetone and lead. Somehow they managed to do it.
Until they did.
that's just like then that's appropriate for them for what all they've done, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's pretty cool though? There's a few of these comics that I picked up, man. That there are spots inside some of the older comics where there's like a little punch part, like a little hole from like I guess where they're from the binding process and stuff. Some of these had never been opened because there were pages that were still stuck together from that process of having those things punched through.
Fresh.
I know, right?
Fresh
comic book smell.
Oh, dude, no, seriously, it is the best. I know when I head into Houston next month, I'm gonna try. I want to at least visit a shop to see what odd books I can try to catch. Yes, I need this in my life.
I would like to, I heard somebody, I think Jesse had said something about when Drunk 3PO had asked Graham Nolan about it. I would love to talk to him about doing the art on this issue 16. I don't know if you did that. Back in the day, it was neat. There was talk about it in the letters in the back because, we had no internet back in the 80s or anything like that. People would you'd occasionally get a note that would mention the art in that. And a lot of people, they had regarded it as like some of the best art that we had in the Transformers comic back then.
No. And you know what? I want to get Graham Nolan on. I'm gonna try. I tried a few months ago, but the reason it fell through at the time with Graham Nolan is he had a surgery at the time, and I had a specific thing, so it just wasn't possible. So I say, hey, let's talk again in a few months. And well, it's been more than a few months. I want to try again, especially since I know him and his wife are shipping out copies of The Ghost of Metakumpa Key, which I cannot wait for. I'm really happy to read that, and I'll be talking about that between that and Florida Man versus Hogzilla. So I have comic books from Legends to look forward to. I mean, I'm excited about it, and the fact that also I saw that plushie of the Shanu that looks really good too, and made in America on top of it. Graham, you legend, you, and Osmora 199 gifted a membership.
Oh,
He gifted a membership.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I love how Vulcan Lives just showed up like before the stream.
I know.
His dad just dropped some memberships there. Like, I can't wait, and then like dropped some.
I can't stay here, but I'm gonna drop a membership anyway. But Osmora 199,
Huge.
and he gifts a huge membership. Thank you, Osmora 199, sir. I hope you're having a good Friday night. Clearly, you've been hanging out with us for the last hour, and I appreciate that. So, Thank you. Graham had a meeting with Holden McGroin. Oh, yeah. I know. We talked about that. We talked about that. So nothing too in depth, but we talked about that. And the time is just all around not good. And I'm ready, and hopefully he'll be ready. Like I want, especially if I would like to make it something really awesome where we could really like get into like the monster books too. Maybe break the ass with him for one show, and then a second show go all in on the monsters with them for the second. So we shall see. We shall see.
He's like living his best life. All the pictures on Twitter, he is smiling ear to ear. He's got like a cigar and stuff, man. He was like, last thing I see was like he was shooting a Thompson machine gun.
He's in his mid-60s and he's a monster.
He is jacked as hell. He's huge. I'm just like, dude, I wish I was half as good a shape as you when I'm your age, man. And he's like,
I think he only has daughters too. So there's probably not one. I think most of his daughters are married, so I'm sure there's not one what's that son-in-law that tries to toe any lines with Graham Nolan. Not one. Not one bit.
Dude.
But anyways,
he'd snap me like a twig, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
Globby. I would like to highlight a comic you've been reading that I'm sure some people know about, but more people should know about. And it's something I feel like this should be a thing that we should talk about. And also, let's get people just to know about, because this is kind of a big deal. So take it away, sir.
Well, I mean, it's this next year will mark 30 years of the comic, and some people know about it. It's called Kurt Busiek's Astro City. And I mean, this is just a random issue I put up there, so I don't know if you want me to talk about this specific issue and tell everybody what happened. This one, you just want to talk about the series in general and why I love it. I mean, I've done that so many times. People are probably sick of hearing about it. I know but I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite comics. In my opinion, it's probably the most ingenious use of the superhero genre. And I'm including even better than some of Alan Moore's greatest stuff, really. Mm-hmm. Some of the best of Astro City is, for those who are not familiar, Kurt Busiek came into fame in the early 90s in a book called Marvels.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have ever read Marvels.
Mm-hmm. That was a beautiful book.
As did Alex Ross. Now, Busiek had been around a little bit, but Alex Ross was one of his earliest works. And so, being a fan of Marvels, when he came out with this book called Astro City with all these Alex Ross covers, I was, needless to say, intrigued. And when I picked up the original miniseries, there was originally a 6-issue miniseries. And what he does with Astro City is, of course, he basically tells the kind of stories that he wants to tell without having to worry about all kinds of continuity and baggage. So he just uses archetypes based upon all of the basic established archetypes of superheroes and other parts of pulp genre, right? Except what he doesn't do, what it's not, is a deconstruction. I love Alan Moore's work. I love Watchmen and a lot of these other things are even, but it's not Moore or Miller. And yet it has similar dark themes, and yet he never strays outside of the confines of the things you've read as superhero comics forever. There you go. Yeah, Jason knows what I'm talking about. And in Astro City, for example, you have a Superman archetype, but he is very different. You have similar takes on Batman. Every single trope there is that you've ever read in a comic book, and even some things in other forms of fiction, pulps and things, they're all in Astro City. And it's a world where it's sort of a hodgepodge. It's all of Marvel, it's all of DC, it's all of just about all of it. And it's never, we've seen knockoffs of characters. This is nothing new now. You've seen The Boys, you've seen Invincible, you've seen all these things, but this was before all. Before that, it hadn't been done much in terms of, a Superman type of an archetype or a Batman type. He was really the first one to do it this way. And yet, again, it's not like The Boys or any of that stuff where it's deconstructionism. It's just, I really hate the word realism, but he has this extraordinary.
I do too.
Yeah.
But he has an uncanny ability to inject realism into something and keep it comic book. And that is not easy. Alan Moore, for example, all Watchmen is about realism. And of course, it's great. It's about, in Watchmen, for those who, and a lot of people, far more people know Watchmen than they do Astro City. It's, let's see, what we're asking the question, what would the world be like if a superpowered being existed on the level of Superman, and then there were a bunch of superheroes? And in Watchmen, as we all know, you have Dr. Manhattan, but everybody else doesn't have superpowers. They walk around in costumes. But the costumes look real. They fold, they bend, they're not skin tight, and it's about what would the real world be like? How would it be affected by people like this? And it's very dark, grim and gritty, and all that kind of stuff. Moore tends to do that. Miller, of course, went in a different way. He just likes to take characters down dark paths without being particularly so much realistic. It's just dark and scary, and deconstructionist. These people aren't always all that good. Well, in Astro City, he combines all that stuff, but he never deconstructs the superhero. They're people, and yet, if you read Marvels, there are many issues of Astro City. Sometimes they're about these heroes, and sometimes they're about the people. And the heroes are just part of the landscape. In other words, there are many stories that are what it would be like if you lived in Marvel, New York, or if you lived in Metropolis or Gotham City. How would it affect your everyday life?
That's what I liked about it.
And it was just brilliant what he would do. But sometimes, but the very first issue was about Samaritan, which he is the Superman archetype, and it's about a day in his life. What would it really be like if you were Superman and he had those almost omnipotent powers? And it shows that he never has time to go out. In the Superman comics, Clark Kent has a life. He goes out dating Lois, or he goes out. He's on TV when he used to be on TV in the Anchorman, or he's out chasing stories for the planet. Well, imagine that you see. Anytime you hear of anything bad happening in the world, you could have done something about it, but you didn't. You would just start doing your own thing. This is about what a character like that would really do, and it shows his whole day. He has a job that keeps him behind closed doors, fact checking for a magazine, and he's out with a computer doing it. While he's out all day long, all over the world doing Superman stuff. He's called Samaritan, and it shows throughout the course of the day. When I read that first issue, that story, it's called In Dreams. And just to give you an example, it opens up with he's dreaming. He's just flying through the air, flying for fun. And then he wakes up and he has to go take care of some emergency. It turns out this is a guy who can actually really fly, and he never gets to do it for himself. He actually dreams what it'll be like to fly like we all do, except he can't. And he could do it for real, and he can't ever do it for real, for fun, because he has to do it to get somewhere, from A to B, in a matter of seconds to save people all over the place. That was the name of the story, called In Dreams, the first issue. And it deals with what it would be like to really be Superman. And then, of course, you have all kind of different... Then you have issues that don't even deal with the hero. Like I said, just a person who happens to live in Astro City or somewhere abouts, in a real world where really superheroes really exist. And he never skimps on the comic book aspect by trying to make it too realistic. And yet it is, because of the way he writes it. His scripting is just as good as anything Moore or anyone else does, if not better, because you believe it. You feel like when you come away from an Astro City story, especially if it's one of those people stories, you feel like you know what it's like to actually have lived in a Marvel or DC universe.
That is fascinating. That is really fascinating.
Oh, man, he's got stories. Now, again, sometimes it does deal with Samaritan or some of the other characters like Confessor. And that's another thing. When he does a Batman or a Superman or a Spider-Man or type knockoff, he doesn't go for an exact replica. He changes them quite a bit. Like the Spider-Man archetype is kind of split between a few characters, as is the Batman one. He's got a more obvious one in Samaritan, like more of a Superman one, but he didn't pop up until like into the 80s. So the years before that, there were other types of superheroes. And in Astro City. And like I said, it started in 1995, this comic. They're so, it was pretty sporadic. He did it had a 6-issue miniseries. Then it started a regular series that lasts like 20 some odd issues, and it took years. You're reading Planetary right now. The only other book, that's the only book that was slower than Astro City to come out, because when Busiek hit it big with Astro City in the late 90s and early 2000s, he started doing Thunderbolts and Avengers and stuff like that. And he got made a name for himself. Well, he had some medical problems, and people would always ask him stuff like, "Well, you come out with those books regularly. Where's Astro City all the time?" And he actually almost came out and said it one time. He says, "Well, I need to be in my full. I need to really feel like I can write. That's my baby. That's when I spent basically without saying it. He came and said, I could hack that other crap out anytime. This is Astro City. I've got to." And we always said, the worst issue of Astro City is better than anything on the stands right now. We were saying that for a decade or better throughout the 90s and the 2000s. An extraordinary take on every superhero concept that there is in a big mishmash, and it's just extraordinary. And this particular issue has a story that will make you'll never, as Jason talked about, you'll never think of Lois Lane if you read this the same way again. I could just go ahead and tell everybody about it if you want to, or you could
don't. I want to know. I gotta read this.
But you can read it. Well, this character that it's about, he's not exactly. This is a character that existed before Samaritan, so they didn't make him a copy of Superman. He's more sort of like an alien version of Captain Atom, but it's a woman telling a story about how in the 50s, I think 60s and 70s and 50s, how she was sort of like his Lois Lane. And she's telling her story about her daughter. She's a lot older now at this point when she's telling him this story. And holy crap! Well, like I said, Jason apparently he's read it. Like he said, I think he said something back there. He said this issue is a great take on Lois Lane of the 50s pest. Pest is an understatement. What she does to him, dude, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And he's done stories about characters. Like he had one, he didn't do too many long story arcs, but did a few. One called Steeljack about a former villain who got out of prison that he just an accident turned his body to steel, and he became a villain for a while because he figured, what else would I be but a villain? Then it's a story about him having a murder mystery, trying to solve a story when it came out. And that's every single thing you've ever read in a comic book. If you've read comic books forever, every one of them, the silliest concept, he addresses them. There's a character called Looney Leo that he addressed at one time that was this in the 40s. And there was this sort of a Captain Marvel type villain, a villain like of the old Captain Marvel, who had this machine that actually he was attacking the Captain Marvel type character there, and he turned it on near a movie theater, and it made cartoon characters from the movie turn to real for a second to attack him. And then when it went off, one of them stayed alive, and it was a walking tune. This character helped the Captain Marvel type character. Then he became a famous celebrity, and he went through all kinds of really serious problems over the years. This walking cartoon lion, and you believe it. The way he wrote this brilliant story, you believe the scandals, the horrible crap that happened to this poor being that was created by a magical machine and given real life. It's that level. There's some of the most brilliant stories I've ever read in my life, because seeing the superhero universe, you can get away with anything. Yeah, any idea goes.
This is it. This has got to be our story, man.
This one you should read, but you should read the first miniseries.
Okay, let's do the first miniseries.
But you can try this one. The thing is, there's not really any continuity. It's the good thing. There's not really, you don't have to worry about continuity.
Well, you know me, Ed. That's not a concern to me. I just want to. I think all I'm trying to get is we found a story. Let's let this be the one. Let's talk about this. We just got to figure out the date.
I'll say one thing.
This is it. Go ahead,
and I'll
take it
with one bit. After the original miniseries came out, and they pissed me off at Image, who put the comic out. They had, remember, I used to hate Wizard magazine. They had Wizard had an exclusive Astro City 1/2 issue. They used to do that. You had to get it through Wizard, and so it pissed me off. I had to go order it from it. I ended up getting it. Had to pay more for it because later they put it in one of the trades, right? So I finally got that comic. It was the only one that ever didn't have Alex Ross. The Alex Ross helped him design the characters, and he did all the covers. Brent Anderson did the interiors. So this Astro City 1/2 was a story called The Nearness of You. I'll just say this. It's one of about maybe only 2 or 3 comics ever that makes me cry my eyes out every time I read it. And if you read comics at that time and you read Crisis on Infinite Earths and other things, it would make you cry too. It's one of the most brilliant comics I've ever read in my life.
Wow.
And they have a lot of great issues.
So fucking sold.
You might
on
like
Green
it,
Nova.
you might not, but you should at least give the first.
I'm gonna take a
miniseries
shot. You got my attention, Clubby. But listeners, this is it. We can talk about what should we do? What should we do? This is it. This is it. This is the idea. We just gotta set up a date, and we can get this going, man. I'm like, this is it. This is the it right here, man. I am in. This should be our first. Like I said, we can maybe even try to make like a quarterly thing where you do like the mini first. If we like it, we'll go further and do like, I don't know, the first 3 or 4 issues. But this seems like a concept I at the very least want to give a genuine check out and go for it. I can do it, man. I'm in. I'm so freaking in on this. I am loving what I'm hearing from
like
you.
I said, nothing's everybody's bag, but I tell you what, most of the people that have read it have loved it. So,
Klobby, it sounds fascinating, dude, and man, I could listen to you describe this like all day long.
I know, right?
Sorry, it's just something I was passionate about. I love this.
I know.
No one's complaining here.
No, not at all, dude.
I totally trust your recommendations, Klobby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No kidding.
All right, so a few things here. Welcome to the show. Commenting is Dangerous, Argus Q001, and Mass Grave. And then LDG, hashtag free the net. It's been a member for 2 months, and he gifted a membership as well. And he gifted not just any membership, but huge membership. Thank you, LDG. Congratulations on your success, sir. I love seeing that. That is absolutely inspiring. And yes, Klobby tells a great story. And we can just listen, and we're good. Yeah, that's why we were all just like all ears there. No one was bored. Everyone's just like, keep going. We're not stopping you. Keep going. We're happy.
Well, I appreciate you. Too kind, everybody. Jason, our buddy Jason Sandberg, who's a great art writer and artist in his own right. He's also read him and loves him. And say, I'll mention one other thing just to let you know about one other story to give you an idea of the types of stories. There's a 2-parter in the later run when it came back to Vertigo in the 2013 or whatever about a woman with she develops telekinesis powers, and she decides she thinks, what else would you do? You should become a superhero because that's what you're supposed to do. And she was a young kid, and she tried to fight crime one time, and it made her sick. She couldn't do it. She just didn't have she almost got herself killed. And even though she's got great telekinetic powers, and so then she went into crime. And Samaritan found out about it, told her, you better go in the straight and narrow. So she just couldn't do either one. The government tried to get her to work on stuff. She ended up with a job in movie special effects where she could move things around with her mind. And that's how she supported herself. And it leads to a pretty fun story about, with her ability, like how a lot of criminal organizations are going to use her and stuff. I'll just tease that part of the story, but it's brilliant how there are a lot of people in the world with superpowers that just can't be a superhero and they don't want to be a villain. And it deals with a lot of things like that, too. And that was one of my favorite of the newer stories I did in 2013.
Wow.
But she can make special effects with her mind. She can make that's so she gets hired on movie sets and stuff because she gets.
Common, you gotta go, sir.
Woman.
Common, you gotta go. Let's plug you out really quick.
All right, cool. Yeah, I got to go. I got a 24-hour member stream that I'm starting. That's actually supposed to be starting right now. So for anybody that wants to become a member, come check out my locals. Come check out the Rumble. You can become a member over there. Twitter, Gilded, all of that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to drop the link for the 24-hour stream here in the chat, so you guys can come check that out when you're done.
We'll be done in about an hour, so that works. We'll be done about an hour, so that works.
Yeah, so I dropped that in the link, and yeah, so if you want to come over and become a member, come do that. We're trying to get enough money together to make it to Vegas this year, so that way I can ride over there with Quarter Black Garrett. My wife can take off the time off work. So come check us out over on the member stream. We'll be doing that for the next 24 hours. Probably playing some Helldivers for a little while until Nightwing gets off work, and then we'll be playing some Halo, and who knows what else we'll get up to. It'll be a good old time. We'll have special guests. People will be coming in and out throughout the entire time as well. So yeah, definitely come check us out. But stay here for right now. Finish watching this because this is great. And I just got finished reading all of those new Transformers books. Holy God!
Right?
Harsh.
I know, right?
Wow. Holy God, wow. So I'm excited for number 6 now because that's about to be a hell of a fight, and I'm excited to see it. So,
Once number 6 finishes, we're gonna do a full-on show to discuss the first arc. We're gonna go full-on
Good.
show for that.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited
so
to do
good.
that. That's gonna be great.
So good.
And
That's
yes,
gonna be great.
Diesel and Comic Relief Crusader, you can both come back for that. Before
All
the
right.
rest of the
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got to have them back for that. We've got to have them back for that. So, all right, boys and girls, I appreciate you having me. Clobby,
Thank
hey,
you.
everybody on the panel, I love you guys. You guys are
Little
great.
bro.
Okay, buddy.
Good night,
I will see,
Common.
and I will see all of you guys later. Peace out, guys.
Love you,
Appreciate you
man.
being here. Night, guys.
All right, so we're gonna acknowledge our great friend Keely Chow. How you doing, sir? Roll Tide to you. And as more
Mm-hmm.
199 gifts 5
Huge.
memberships.
That's funny. Keely Chow, every
generous-
time I see him, he's like, roll tide. See, I graduated from Auburn. Auburn is like the Auburn, Alabama thing, man.
War
I'm like,
Eagles.
War Eagle, man.
Osmora, if you I don't know if you're in America or another country, but I'm just saying is if you come to Dallas when we do the Dallas meetup in June, it's not official, but it's unofficial right now. But we're doing something in Dallas with the Dix division and talking with some other faces, some people. Can't say yet, even though I want to, but I gotta hook you up, fat man. Thank you. This is insane, dude. Thank you for gifting 5 huge memberships, sir. Thank you. That's seriously fucking nuts.
Very generous.
And then
bro.
I'm just jeez, guys. This is like a what is going? What are you?
Huge
It really
memberships
is
giving
huge.
out. Amazing memberships going out to everyone out in the chat. These are the warriors.
Guys,
These-
I think we need to do a toast to everyone who's given out all these fantastic memberships.
Let's do it.
Hell
We
yeah.
got over 30 people here in the chat. Let's do it to you guys. Thank
Huge.
you guys. Appreciate it. Stay
Huge.
huge, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Salud.
Big cup for huge memberships.
No, just real quick. I'm not. This isn't the water. This is the water. I've got like 3 drinks actually for tonight, but
Yeah.
Ooh,
Is that the vodka in that one?
no, this is mead.
Nice.
Hey, Mr. Grant Gregory. What's up, man? Oh,
Hey, Grant.
Osmora's way ahead of us. Wow. He's way ahead of us. But Ty Reynes
Right there
Cygnus
with you, man.
gifting 5.
Huge.
You guys are nuts. Thank you, Tyrannus, for gifting those, man. Seriously, thank you. Holy crap! This is you guys are like this is like battle royale, but for gifting memberships. But okay, so we're gonna have Comic Relief Crusader give a little plug of something he's been reading. I'm drunk. And then Ironcaster, and then after that, we're gonna talk Energon Universe, and then we're gonna say goodnight. So,
Awesome.
Comic Relief, you're up.
All right. So, buddy of mine, Al Nickerson, some of you might know him from Marvel and DC and doing some of the Archie comic books, like, from way back when. Fantastic guy, super guy, and I've had him on my show talking with him about what's been going on with his career and his life and all that kind of stuff. And he has a second book coming out sometime this summer, Sword of Eden. So if you want to pick up the first book, then go look at his website, Messianic Comics. The second book is titled Shinobi. So, and that's going to be coming out soon. And a little bit of a plug. Like, he had the title already, but I kind of pitched an idea to him to kind of like maybe change the logo on Shinobi to make it more Japanesey, so to speak. And so I'm kind of proud to say that in a small way, I sort of helped him out with the book. And just so I bring the receipts, just to let you know, if you look in the bottom there, Shinobi logo designed and created by Mike Lorber, freelance.
Nice. よくできました。
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Looks real good. I wonder why there's an endorsement.
oh, I can't imagine why.
Totally no
So-
conflict of interest here.
No,
Totally
no,
not.
no conflict of interest. But no, he's a really great guy, and yeah, check out his first book. I promise you'll be, very, very titillated by his book.
Put it in
So,
the put it in the private, and then we'll share it out.
I will totally 100%. So yeah, check out his book coming out soon. So I'll put I got the link right here and how you can order it. And yeah, I'll probably have him on for another interview soon. There's the link for you there. So
Caster or one of you gentlemen plug this plug while I get this situation sorted out.
Because you need to go change your pants.
This is
That
From all
happens
the
from time to
awesomeness.
time, man. No worries. Alcohol get to sometimes.
well, yeah.
yeah. No fucking kidding.
Man, at least it's not ayahuasca. You will even
No, I'm
notice
not
when that
complaining.
happens.
I didn't expect this. Sorry, you never know how Friday nights go. You never know how A nights go, and then shit like this happens. It's like, thank you,
I'm doing my
Casper.
part for comicdom.
Yes.
Oh, talking about shit shows.
Holy.
I
shit.
have been reading the new Zorro comic.
Yes.
I was
From
hoping
John
for a
Gordon
real
Murphy.
shit show. Yeah, I was actually after the last issue, the first issue, I was like, this can go really wrong because the way that they set up everything is
I know your
kinda you
boy
have
Zach shredded it apart.
yeah, dude. But I read the last issue.
Mhm.
It's really good. They are actually leaning a lot into the Zorro is this mythical figure for this small town, and everybody actually gets pumped by the idea of the Zorro existing, even though they know there's no chance. Right at the end, we kind of get a confirmation that the Zorro actually existed on this universe in the 1800s.
Mhm.
No, is basically this guy that is crazy that is trying to become the Zorro, and everybody is like, "That's what we need. We are in, fucker. You are the Zorro now." So yeah, it's becoming really interesting. The characters are really gelling. So I'm hyped. Didn't thought I will get that hype for the Zorro, but yeah, they are going really well.
Well, I know the series technically finished because your boy Zach he backed it on Kickstarter, so you got the entire series already.
Oh, so issue 3
'cause
is
it was
out?
originally well, technically it is if you backed it on Kickstarter. What
Okay.
happened with it? What happened was Sean Gordon Murphy released it on Kickstarter first, and then everyone else gets it as a monthly later on. But if you're someone who backed it, you get it first, which is fine. That's an honorable deal, especially if you spent the money you spend. That should be like the least that could be done. I get it. Also, you get all the whole package deal, merch, liner notes, whatever, all that other little fancy jazz per se. So
Awesome.
I was like, okay. Richard Meyer did not like the series. I don't, and even if I end up liking it, I don't like that Sean Gordon Murphy false advertised the series. I don't like that. That fact that it was promoted as a Zorro series and that it's about Zorro's sister. And that's
Yeah,
not
I
even to
thought-
say it will even
yeah,
be
yeah.
bad. I just don't like the false advertisement of it. That
I
to
thought they
me
were going on that
is a-
route. Because at the beginning it looks like it's going to be about the Zorro sister. But the second issue is basically she been proved wrong in every way, because she's like, no, you are not the Zorro, so you cannot do this kind of stuff. You will get killed. And the guy just literally throws a whip into a branch, does a flip, falls into a motorcycle, and starts killing people with a sword in a motorcycle and jumping between cars and everything. It's actually really cool. That's a really cool scene. And every single time she goes like, nah, this guy is crazy. He's just my brother that is an asshole. Don't trust him. And everybody's like, no, he's the Zorro. Did you see him killing people right now? He's a badass. We trust him. You shut up. So I'm enjoying that part, because he's the sister that is basically the key to everything, the normal shit for comic books. And everybody shutting her mouth because, well, the guy that believes that he's the Zorro is doing a good work, so he's the Zorro now. Even the priest of the town is like, nah, man, he's the Zorro. We need this cosplayer.
So okay, interesting. And so from your perspective, you've read it as so far as a monthly. You're into it. Zach, who's finished it, was not into it. That's very interesting. I almost feel like there's a very interesting curiosity to see, is this a bait and switch at the end?
Oh, that will suck.
Yeah, because Richard was very mad about this book. He was it was his first video of the year, because he took 3 weeks off YouTube to say, no, I'm not going to make a new book until I get at least one comic book set to the printer, because he acknowledged that he has a lot of late books and he needs to fix that. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool, awesome. And now he has a few books sent to the printer from what he said of his videos. I've never backed any of them, but I'm just going off his word here. And the first thing he did was mention this comic, and he was not pleased whatsoever. So,
oh fuck.
Now, granted, there are times I've absolutely not agreed with Mr. Meyer himself, and him and I have talked about that, but him and I still respect each other, enjoy each other's company. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But I do enjoy Sean Gordon Murphy's pencils. I think I do enjoy his style, but especially I liked it in God, what's that book he did with I said book like 70s. What's that comic he did with Mark Miller? Psychonauts? No. Oh, it's
wait, there's a comic for Psychonauts?
No, no. Something Chrononauts. Chrononauts is what I meant. Chrononauts.
Yeah.
Okay. I enjoyed that first fight because Sean Gordon Murphy did I think he only did the first volume, but I really enjoyed the Chrononauts. I thought that was a really good series between him and Mark Miller. So I really enjoyed that, and I would definitely recommend that as a good comic, and definitely got some of Sean Gordon Murphy's best pencil work by far. Between that and the first White Knight as well. I gotta acknowledge this because before we get the night gets forever, Mr. Grant Gregory, dude, fucking nuts, man.
Huge. Huge.
That doesn't just get a huge, but that's good. That gets a Thanos and Captain Marvel punch.
Huge.
Thank you, Mr. Grant Gregory, for gifting 10 memberships. That is nuts. It's almost like it was like a hold my beer, and he just went and dude, Grant, man, I can't wait. One day you're gonna come to America, and we're gonna hang out, and it's gonna be huge. Stan. Oh man, you guys, this is like Battle Royale. This is straight up Battle Royale. Thank you guys, seriously, all of you for all the memberships. This is nuts. Anyways, Ironcaster.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the best way to live life. We gotta get drunk, eat pizza, and like comics. That's how it is
Yeah.
here. All right, Ironcaster, plug this comic that you've been reading and enjoying, and then we're gonna talk some Energon Universe.
Okay, so after having gone through the Wolverine miniseries, I've decided I wanted to go back and read a little bit more X-Men. Such a terrible thing to do. And one of my favorite mutants of all time is, of course, the Blue Elf himself, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler's fantastic.
And to this point, I had not gotten around to this book yet, and I figured I should probably go ahead and read this. And just to set this up briefly, and because I have slides. This is actually a sequel. This was the 1985 series, which was a sequel to an issue 153 called Kitty's Fairy Tale.
Oh,
this came out about 4 years before, where Kitty Pryde is telling a bedtime story to a young Illyana Rasputin, the little sister of Colossus.
right.
In which she's taken all the cast of the X-Men and have turned them into all these fantastical creatures and characters along the way. Which is where we then get some of the elements of this book here, in which Nightcrawler winds up getting whisked off to a bit of a fantasy land where he gets to have all these swashbuckling adventures. And one of the reasons I wanted to highlight this is because this is an aspect of the character we just simply never got a chance to see in the movies.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler is like a two-sided coin. He is this character with all the Catholic guilt. He's the very religious character, which we've seen time and time again in the movies, but we've never seen this version of him. The big old grin in his face, the character who just grew up in love with Errol Flynn movies. And so just to show off a little bit of it, I pull up some stuff. This was stuff anyone who was on Gilded might have already seen, but I thought I'd go over it a little bit here just to show off the premise of the big sell of the book. Starts off with Nightcrawler in the danger room where he's going through some trials where he can't teleport. And he's kind of jumping around doing this thing. And the covers, look at this. Like, look how big Michael Jackson was big back then.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I forgot about Kitty Pryde's what was the little dragon's name?
Lockheed.
Lockheed. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And so you'd see Nightcrawler's this very nimble character who's able to move around, much like Spider-Man might. So there's kind of a logic to where they would later then try to make him sort of a Spider-Man-esque figure. And well, along the way, they're like, let's go and change things up.
I love Dave Cockrum now. I mean,
this is he wrote and drew this.
Yep, and even inked it.
So Kitty goes to recreate some elements of one of their previous adventures, which then winds up accidentally turning real. And Kurt goes to save Lockheed, who's being sucked into this hole in the ground that's formed up. And the two of them wind up getting sucked into this fantasy world.
Nice. Which
I gotta tell you is so much fun. This is all kinds of amazing, beautiful stuff. I think I compared it to the Pirates of Darkwater meets Spelljammer.
Ooh. You got me there,
to throw a little bit of comic books into the Dungeons and Dragons, because this is just an amazing fantasy world where it's there's floating islands in the sky. The sky ships are flying around. We have ships that are just on the back of squids.
Okay.
Huh.
And that's just what this is. This is just the crazy swashbuckling, save the princess adventures.
Like a pirate, kind of like a pirate era in this world where they have ships and floating cities and things.
And I mean, come on, look at the cover of issue 2 here. That is Jaws. He's swinging with the princess in his arm. it's just the craziest little adventure you could have.
Yeah, Star Wars, John Carter, all kind of stuff.
You kind of get to see Nightcrawler kind of cut loose and have fun.
Yeah, this is a fun series.
I'm
Yeah, of course.
just digging the Golden Princess with, let's say, nice bikini.
Yeah, looks kind of like Deja Thoris.
And of course, along the way, we then get a little. The reason I bring up that other issue is because we start seeing little elements of that story popping in, like the Bamfs. These little tiny, like, childy version of Nightcrawler. Was? Daddy, you've come home. My God, it's a Cabbage Patch Nightcrawler.
This is this. What did this come out about? 81.
85.
Oh, it did. Oh, okay.
Mid 80s. Oh, before casting hairs on, what's up, Bull Rush? How you doing, buddy? And don't worry, it's coming back. I cut it to regrow it. Carry on, Caster.
And this just keeps getting crazier and crazier because then he finds like a whole like tribe of these little fuzzballs.
Mhm.
And they're like, well, you're like us, but you're bigger, so that makes you the daddy daddy Bamf.
What?
It's crazy.
And a lot of these elements of the earlier book of the earlier story come in. Like we see this female name called Mean. Howdy, folks, I'm Mean. Feels good to be taking a break. I've been wanting to smoke for hours. Ever since I took that wrong turn to Albuquerque.
It sounds like a sex thing going on. Puff, suck, patoo.
And like he's coming out. He's got a 6-pack of Coors Light under his arm.
That's like they used to show, and I remember this because I had several compilation like graphic novels of X-Men, and they used to show him smoking back then, and they probably cut that out. I don't. Let's see, when is this? 85. I know they wouldn't. Later on,
it was Joe Quesada that did the end, put it down into smoking.
That's really weird.
That's lame.
Even though I don't smoke, I still see that. I'm just like, that's fucking weird, dudes.
It's with Logan and the Thing need to have a cigar.
Right.
Yeah, it's part of the character.
Part of their character, exactly.
Yeah. It's the same as in One Piece. Sanji's always smoking, and for a time when I think it was Fox Kids or I don't remember what company was the one doing the translation for One Piece, they removed the cigar and changed it to a lollipop. Yeah.
Funimation.
It takes away from the character, man. That sensation of smoking or drinking actually goes really well with some characters.
So this is just, it's a fun little series that you don't have to like deal with like continuity of anything. It's just Nightcrawler's whisked off to a fantasy world where he's able to go and like have an adventure, and then he gets kind of dropped back in.
Right, kind of less like just this little standalone few issues, man.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a fun one. It's one I almost want to recommend for us to check out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get into some X-Men proper well before then.
Oh yeah, and we will. Oh, we will, including Nightcrawler when the timing is right.
Now, didn't Claremont's run started with John Size X-Men like 100, right?
John Size X-Men 1.
John Size X-Men 1, right? I had like an omnibus.
Actually, Lynn Wein started with that one. It was Claremont started X-Men 94.
I had I believe it started with that John Size X-Men. I had an omnibus. It was all black and white. And unfortunately, I think it was like I let somebody borrow it and it disappeared. But I read through that. It was jam-packed with a ton of stuff. They had who was the Indian guy? He wound up getting killed.
Thunderbird.
Warbird.
Thunderbird, yes, I think that was It was funny because they would sit there. I just remember they would sit there and everybody call Wolverine midget, and then he'd call him Irish, and they'd just take all these hits at each other. A whole bunch of politically incorrect stuff where they would, they'd throw the side insults and the jabs at each other. It was just I've read several of them, and then I had Dark Phoenix. graphic novel or a compilation type thing. And then I had one from probably around the same era that that Nightcrawler series, probably from the 80s too. I had another omnibus. It was a guy at a comic book shop that sold me a bunch of his X-Men stuff for like on the cheap. I think he gave me an omnibus for like nothing, man. I think he $5 or maybe it was $10.
Dudes,
Good stuff.
are we ready to talk Energon Universe?
Yes.
What we should start with, because Cobra Commander was really interesting. Also, Transformer was great.
We're gonna talk about both.
Yeah, Cobra Commander is it's
Fucking crazy.
I know, man. It was. I didn't think, when they did the Cobra Law stuff at first, because I was always kind of like, I wasn't sure about that, but like, I kind of like how they're leaning into that aspect, and plus with the whole Energon universe, they're bringing in a whole lot of stuff from season 3 of Transformers stuff. All of Void Rivals is just chock full of stuff from Quintessence.
This is called continuity, actually being continuity. And when you read all the comic books, they actually matter. And you know what? We're gonna make that as a segue. I'm gonna let the robot guys duke it out for the next few minutes, because I want you guys to talk about Transformers number 5. Hey, have a good night, Bull Rush. Transformers number 5. You gentlemen take the 5. I've read it, but I want you guys. You guys know this far better than I do.
Let's start out by saying issue 5 was the biggest one yet.
Can I start a little bit on this, because the first few panels in this book, man, they get me. This whole run, well, it's so Optimus Prime centered. It's very in the character.
Yeah, him and Spike. Yeah.
Yes, it's these first few panels. You see, you've got Sparky, your spark plug, well, they call him Sparky in this, and he's in the war, and the look on his face, his buddy to his left is being shot, and the guy to his right, they've just got this look. Then they draw the parallel, and they show Optimus Prime with the same look on his face, where his bot to his left is being shot, and the other one to his right, Blaster sitting there, and they just go back and forth with that. And they show their reaction to each one of them watching their brothers just get cut down in war, and the look and the way that he's able to draw Optimus Prime, because with the faceplate, sometimes it could be a little difficult to emote, but it's all about the eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, that right there. It's just his eyes are wide, and then the parallels right there. They're just this got me right from the get go.
It
really goes to show you that no matter how different they are, Autobot, human, war, they all suffer the same.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I gotta say is, from the get-go with Void Rivals, I can see, I get it, and I wanted to see how that was going to tie into Transformers. And when I first picked up Transformers 1, I wasn't quite sure, or I wasn't quite entirely sold on Daniel Warren Johnson's art.
Fair.
And because I thought, I don't know, there's something about it. It just looked kind of scratchy at first, or something. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it. But
yeah,
I got to say, now that I'm like 5 issues in, there's something about it that really keeps drawing me back.
Yeah.
And he's conveying emotion, and he's conveying movement, especially.
Yes.
Right? It's
yes.
Movement
by the way, comic, that's his thing. He loves to have moments, really great character moments.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a fan of his art, he knows how to deliver character moments that hit you right in the feels. He's a master at that.
And it's
right.
And it's
this
working
picture right here, man, where Optimus is standing, but the Megatron arm is in the shadow.
Yeah. And his use of shading on this, like especially in this panel right here, it's good. It's really good. it's not an art style I thought I would be reciprocating towards, but I'm feeling it. I'm really honestly feeling it.
I've been calling it kind of great. I've been calling it kind of an urban graffiti kind of art style.
Yeah,
because it's something about the way the motion is conveyed, and it just kind of reminds me of like, the stuff you would see on like the side of a building, or like even like kind of the scribbles in like your high school, in like some like middle school yearbook, in like the best way, where it just kind of brings back those good memories.
Yeah, it's got a certain amount of grit to it.
Yes.
And because you got to remember that obviously these are metal beings, these are super robot life forms, right? And of course, with the millions of years that these Cybertronians live, they're a bit dinged up. They got scratches on them and stuff like that.
Imperfections.
Exactly. And you can kind of see with like Sparkplug here, in some of the panels, you can see the wear and the toil of many years of, like, say, fighting in the military and stuff like that.
Yes,
and
he shows it in it.
You can see the age in it, right?
Yes,
and
it's
and
a
I'm
good
liking
parallel.
this. It is.
And I was like you with the art, because I'm still, part of me is, as I'm such a stickler for the Dreamwave stuff and Don Figueroa's art, and I've always been like comparing everything to that, because I was just so kind of crushed and angry when they went bankrupt and everything, because I had gotten back. They drew so many people back into Transformers when they came back in like 2002, but at first, I was like you a little bit. I was like, kind of like with the way the colors are and the way that his art was. But the more I read it, he draws Optimus Prime's face like it was pulled straight out of the 86 movie. I love that, the squareness, the way that he puts it. Because to me, that's my favorite. Like, when you look at the 86 movie, the way that Optimus Prime's face was like drawn, it was animated then.
Yeah.
He takes that, and I get that feel of that from the way that he draws his face. And I love that part.
Yeah.
The art has weight.
It does.
Yes, it does.
This is one was just because I only pulled up the previews here. What Skybound put up on the website, but
literally.
Starscream is such a motherfucker.
Yeah. I like how he's writing it all, because Starscream, obviously, as we know, Starscream's a dick, right?
Yes, he is.
And he writes Starscream so perfectly.
Good.
Oh, Megatron, how it pains me.
And something here, this is one thing that he gets Soundwave, because Soundwave has he has like a bond with his Cassetticons, or some, the mini bots. There's like a kinship there, and he's holding Ravage, and he brings Ravage up because he's just like, come on, this is like my right hand, thing right there. And then Starscream he's like, you can see there's a little bit of, Soundwave cares for, Ravage. Most of the time, Soundwave is just like almost like a cold, calculated, not so much a Shockwave, but he has this bond with Ravage. He brings him up, and Starscream's like, you want to start with the smallest, and it's like kicking a puppy, man. He just
exactly.
shit out of him.
We'll go back with that. Look at the way the body's even kind of like, you always see that floating through the air.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's just, and he emphasizes punt.
Yeah.
He does that a lot. Where he,
I know,
literal. That's one of his tropes.
Yeah,
where he literally describes the actual thing for when something's happening. It's one of his traits.
I know. I've noticed that a couple times in rereading it. I see it. I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. I like that. I love the emphasis on that. He's really good at action, and like with the way that he draws stuff, characters don't even have to say anything. He could convey exactly what's going on just by the movement and or just the ways that their facial expressions and the things going on. And he's very good at these kinetic action scenes, along with these quiet scenes like this. The way that he's able to, because you can see Optimus Prime's, his eyes are very small right there. He's like, and I love the way that he's able, the way that he can, conveys emotion and.
Wanna bet?
And then the computer cuts off. That's hilarious, dude.
What's up, Nav? Nav or Nav? Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. Please correct me. Nav Shergill. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge him because he's been very responsive to comments in chat, but please correct me because I feel like I butchered that and I already don't like that I potentially butchered it. But carry on, Diesel. Well, he corrects me.
I had a question I wanted to ask you, Nick.
Oh,
since you're getting into this, you're the newcomer into all this.
Yeah.
Have you picked out do you have a favorite bot yet? Through all this,
this is
and let's be clear. Optimus is the exception. He's off in his own category because everyone's just gonna pick Optimus throughout this book.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just say that cliffhanger at the end made you want to know a lot more about the what was that?
The mean green machine.
The Devastator. I saw that and I'm like, okay, I want to know everything about the Devastator now. So the Devastator, even though that was only 2 or 3 pages, technically only one with it in its proper final form. Sound like DBZ here, but I was just like, okay, I am interested in this character so much. And can you show that one more time, Diesel?
Sure, man.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
issue 10 of the original Marvel run. Also, if you would like, I'll tell you an episode that you can watch, and I'm sure all of these are free. Heavy Metal War. That is a
great name.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah, it is. That's a fantastic G1 episode, man. It's the introduction of the Constructicons and Devastator. And it's fantastic, man. I think you could probably it's on YouTube. I want to say it's about 21 minutes long. That is a fantastic introduction to the Constructicons and Devastator.
The Devastator sounds like the gallows by.
And I believe
your avatar is hilarious, by the way, TZ.
Yeah, I love
it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Comic Relief told me, didn't you say Devastator was your favorite combiner?
My favorite combiner, well, okay, it goes back to the toys. My first combiner that I had was Defensor. Right? Yeah. However, I mean, I picked up recently the next X Transbots Constructicon.
Oh, dude, and you came up with the colors for that, bro.
I did. So I helped out with the colors of that.
Love it. It pops so.
It's see, because I do it tune accurate, right?
I know, right? That's why it looks so good.
But yeah, in the comics, when they're flying off to Thundercracker and Starscream and Reflector and Soundwave, when they're like going after the Autobots at that dam, you can just feel the speed at which they're taking off, right?
Yeah.
With these like this blur that he has going on the tail fins of when they're in jet mode and stuff like that. You can feel the speed. And when they're finally at the dam, when this turbine is going, you can literally feel the speed of this turbine going. And damn, like I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that, but and Ironcaster knows exactly what I mean.
Actually, the fact that you mentioned that bridge scene there is like, I'm reading through that. My mind is going back to the G1 episodes. I'm like,
me too.
From like those episodes.
Yes. But then when Optimus uses Megatron's fusion cannon on Reflector, and he's like, "Oh dear," he's like, "Oh
Dude.
dear," and you can feel that. Oh my god! Like, I mean, I've read every issue. Like, I picked these comics up ever since the Marvel days. I've read every freaking issue that there was, even the third. I was almost going to say the third party ones, but even like the lesser known, like the Blackthorn issues, and I got all the manga. Like, literally, I got all the manga and stuff like that. But and IDW was good. It was all right, but later on they started getting a little bit woke here and there, and it kind of started to turn me off. But with Image, and I had my concerns at first before they even released those first issues, because I'm thinking, okay, with everything that's going on in comics and Hollywood, and all this woke crap that they're introducing, God, I am so glad that Image has got this, and they're doing that, because that fusion cannon scene. It's just like, oh God, you just felt the sheer power just ripping through Reflector, right? And you can even see the recoil like of Optimus's arm as it's like throwing him back, right? And you just like, this is Megatron's cannon, and you do not want to be in the way of it, because
every time he fired that cannon was absolutely epic, and he absolutely slays with that.
I was noticing that too. This conveys Megatron. See, there's a thing, and they talked about it in the old Marvel comics, and there was a thing. Megatron has a fusion cannon. We're talking about the power of the sun on his arm.
Yep.
And he was basically, it can lay waste to everything. And that shot of him, of Prime blasting that thing, you finally get you feel like the weight of this. They finally brought that. That's his effing fusion cannon, dude.
See, I just can't wait till he interdimensionally connects with the black hole.
Black hole, man.
Right?
There was an episode, it was one of the early UK Marvel comics that did, which I also thought was really cool about them. They drew a lot of those early comics like the toys, which I thought was awesome how they drew that. But there's an episode of that where Megatron is actually connecting to a black hole, because that was in his tech specs. They never showed it on the cartoon, but he can interdimensionally connect to a black hole to harness the power of a freaking black hole, something so powerful. Light can't escape.
And then when he does the frenzy on top of that, right? You could just when he grabs him by the leg,
grabs him and just
flips him over and
smashes him right into the corner of that thing.
Yeah. And I'm so far I am really happy with this series, and I know it's like issue 5, but damn, I want issue 6 now.
Now, isn't Daniel Warren Johnson going to leave after issue 6?
What's happening is after issue 6, he's just writing.
Okay.
He's not drawing. Right. He's got another guy coming in for 7 through 12, and nothing has been said about what's going to happen in issue 13 and after. So I don't know if he's out or if they're trying to re-enter negotiations, because I'll tell you what, Transformers at my shop that I go to, this is a talked about book. People aren't just buying it, they're actually talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not like people who are buying Amazing Spider-Man or Batman just to fill up their volume collection, just to say they have the complete run whenever those books are up in the world. People are talking about Transformers.
Yeah. That reminds me of the buzz. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick.
No, it's okay. I don't know if Kirkman has entered negotiations or is trying to renegotiate, because the rumor was for a time that Dan Johnson was going to do 6 issues and then he was out, but it was never specific on was he going to write and draw 6 and then he was out, or if he was just going to write and then be out and so on, draw the second arc. It was never really specific, but now we have the second arc where he's still writing. So who knows what's gonna happen? But I'd be shocked if Kirkman didn't at least consider renegotiating. Now here's the problem.
Yeah.
And we have to be very fair and honest with this problem, and you gotta acknowledge it. Dan Johnson, like a Mark Miller before him, he's not really a guy who sticks to books long term, for better and worse, depending on your perspective. If you look at all his creator-owned books, Extremity, that was 12 issues. He wrote and drew, done. Murder Falcon, 8 issues, done. Dual Power Bomb, his wrestling book, 7 issues, done. He did a DC Black Label book, Wonder Woman Dead Earth, 4 issues, done. Did the Ghost Fleet for Dark Horse that he drew, didn't write, done. 4 or 5 issues, done. Was that one for Marvel? He did Beta Ray Bill miniseries, wrote and drew, 5 issues, done. You look at the track record and you're thinking, oh boy, it's almost, dare I say, we're even lucky he's sticking around for a second arc.
Wow.
Dang, man.
Yeah, we're actually lucky in that regard.
I
Now,
want to write this. This is how hyped up I am.
Is this going to be? Is this going to be his longest arc? His longest series he's worked on.
outside of Extremity, yes. Extremity is the only book where he's gone this extensive. And Extremity was a 12-issue series that was in and out. That was in 2016 through 17 with Skybound. Because I remember he told me, Dan said that Robert Kirkman found his art on a message board for him. That's how he got founded. And he has said he has always been a big Transformers fan. If you look at the letters column in the first issue, he shows off a photo of all his Optimus Prime toys. Dude's a big fan. And maybe that's the one reason why he's actually sticking around as long as he is. Because this isn't just freelance work for him. This is like, okay, I'll give this story another go. I can't do the pencils, but at least do this.
Dude, I can tell he gets Optimus Prime. That's the one thing about this that I'm just like, he gets it. The first thing we see is Optimus Prime. When he sees humans, he throws himself. He doesn't know what they are, but he knows that he's gonna protect them because they're here. This is his fault, their fault. And he throws himself immediately between Blaster Fire and Spike and Carly sitting there.
Yeah.
And he gets Optimus Prime. None of this, I'm going to be your badass. No, he gets it. He's got the weight of this war on his shoulders. And it's just, I just would hate to.
You know what?
That's good that Transformers fans really approve of this, because it seems like he comes from that perspective of really understanding what Transformers fans know. And that seems like something Kirkman made it a thing to say, okay, if we're going to get people who are getting involved with this new Energon universe, we need people who understand Transformers, understand G.I. Joe. And we're going to let them, add concepts that are familiar, but had a little spice to the ingredients. And it seems like that's exactly what's going on. And of course, Kirkman's got his original property adding to it with Void Rivals. So it's just like, wow, these guys are absolutely all stepping up. They're probably all seeing what the other guys doing. Like, okay, crap, I need to do better. I can't let this guy show me up. And that's a good position you want to be in. You want to be like, oh, crap, this guy's showing me up.
Yeah, it's competition where we all win.
And I'm going to speak. And I'm going to speak a little bit of heresy here, okay? Because this is, I love so far the writing of this, because like Diesel said, this guy gets Optimus, he gets the Autobots, he certainly gets the Decepticons, like no problem whatsoever. This is why I've never really liked Simon Furman's writing. I never really did, right? And I know a lot of people probably in the chat are just going to say, oh my God, blasphemy. But you know what? Simon Furman just kind of wrote Optimus as this depressed freaking leader, like, oh my god, all the decisions that I've made for millennia. It's
The
just
last bit of the Marvel run. Good grief, you're absolutely right.
And it's like, I'm just second guessing myself as a leader. It's like, oh, shut up! Just shut up!
You've had 4 million years.
Exactly. You. This is not the confident leader of a faction that's been at war for millions of years. Like, if you haven't made up your mind about your choice of being a leader or not, this is why I detest Simon Furman's writing, right? Because everything's like, oh god, it's like Marvin the paranoid android from friggin' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? It's just this manic depressive about I don't know if I really have it inside me to be a leader that I should be. It's like, oh, shut up. No,
dude,
you're fully confident in your abilities 150%, right? And this is why I'm really liking the writing in this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey man,
Optimus keeps going. That's the
it's
character. He knows that he has messed up a lot of times. Robots have died because of him. He is still fighting because the other option is letting the Decepticons win.
Yeah.
And that cannot happen. So he will never doubt his capabilities as a leader. He knows what will happen if he doesn't continue.
I'll tell you.
So one other little detail with the book I wanted to bring up, because I couldn't find a better spot to work this in, is that at the end of the last issue there, I think Daniel Warren Johnson was mentioning that with Jazz, he was working in references to like baselines, like he's saying 2, 5, 1.
Yeah,
and Cliff Jumper's like, I don't understand that reference.
Because Jazz is he's if out of all the Autobots, Jazz is my character.
Oh, I love Jazz. That was the first toy that I got back when I was a kid. The first Autobot.
That's a character that I immediately made me think of you, Nick.
Yeah,
I just bought Dreadnought Buzzer.
There you go.
So I picked, actually, I gotta say, Hasbro's GI Joes are actually really good quality. I picked up the lady one of the Lady J's, and it is so posable. It's got plenty of little extra accessories and features. It's a fun figure. I think there's gonna be some good stuff coming.
Hey,
just to show off a couple of the covers here real quick for the upcoming issue 6.
Oh yeah.
I am not the biggest Simon Furman guy either. I think his the first War Within, I thought was pretty good. That was where, but the whole last part of the Marvel comic is kind of, and Simon Furman, like everybody is like, Simon Furman is the greatest. Simon Furman, everyone says that, including Simon Furman. But he's there's some of the stuff that he likes, but I totally feel you on that. There's a lot of people like Simon Furman is the greatest thing ever. And I'm just like,
he's almost like the John Byron of Transformers, right? He injects so much of himself into
himself in there,
and ego is so huge, right? That like, I am Transformers. I know.
Yeah, I know, right? He's got a little bit of an ego. I think the first War Within was good. I also think that novel, if you really want to see like an origin for Optimus Prime and the whole war and everything, that the novel Exodus is fantastic. I think that's a good one. See, because like I couldn't take IDWs where they like had Orion Pax as a cop. That's not Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime's an archivist, man. He was collecting data. Saw what was going on with Megatron in the gladiatorial pits, how he was bringing people in and just giving all these speeches and had a lot of good ideas. And he monitored that while he's working for Alpha Trion. And
I get the feeling that Nick is regretting bringing a bunch of Transformers fans on his channel.
Sorry, man.
Because we're like nerding out on his channel. And it's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for him now. Oh, I like this cover. This is an awesome cover.
That is a good cover.
I believe this is one of those like incentive covers, so it's like the 1 in 10.
Yeah.
or maybe 125.
I have got
But-
to get that long haul. Good grief, I've got to get that long haul.
Yeah,
That
you
thing
do.
is gorgeous, dude. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. It's good.
And
Well, the thing is, though, you can't just buy him. You've got to buy the rest.
exactly.
See, I know, man. I'm just like, I was looking at it, like I've got 3 of the aerial bots, and I got 4 of the Stunticons, which, by the way, like I've talked with Michael before about it. I think Road King is the greatest Transformer ever made. I think that is the coolest, most well-engineered thing that there is, man. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, I needed this too much money on all this stuff. Open up that rabbit hole, but that long haul is absolutely gorgeous, man.
But Cobra Commander 2. Yeah.
Should we start out by talking about just how badass they made the Dreadnoks in this? Like, it looks like you went into like the movie Wrong Way or Wrong Turn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
where you're like
Dude.
fighting off something like, hillbillies down in like Louisiana,
Yeah.
down in like the bayou.
Exactly.
You know what's cool though is I loved the Marvel G.I. Joe comic because that cartoon, as much as I watched it, it was really cheesy. The Marvel comic was like, man, it was like people get shot. There's some hardcore stuff. This is, dude, it's bringing some realism and stuff in there with it, especially with Cobra Commander is almost like a horror type. With some of the stuff going
Speaking
on.
of Cobra Commander,
Mm-hmm. Oh, the way they did Buzzer.
let's
And,
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, dude, guys, it's okay.
Whoever.
If it were up to me, we would go 2 more hours. But unfortunately, I got a little less than that.
Oh, right.
But I do so once again, when Transformers 6 comes out, we're gonna do a full-on Transformers panel.
Nice.
All right, it'll be great. But we got a Cobra Commander. We gotta talk about, and Clobby needs to slide out.
Oh,
and he needs to get away. So Clobby, plug in real quick, plug out, so we can plug.
Oh, it's not necessary, buddy. But thanks. Great hanging with you guys. I got to get out of here. I got to get away from this desk. It's been a long one, man. Appreciate hanging with you guys. I've got Saturday night Star Trek, of course, tomorrow night. 9 p.m. Central as always with Raquel and the gang, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're still reviewing Star Trek Voyager, and then Sunday night on the Great Mark D with the Sea Channel, we'll be having the Geekery out there, 10 p.m. Eastern for that. So, and Monday night, I'll be I go to J Man's channel at 6 for our Legion of Superheroes review, but Monday night it's still Superman month on Clobbering Times, and a good buddy of mine are going to review a comic that makes me very emotional, both angry and sad. Mr. John Byrne needs. I'm not going to say about what I want to punch, what I want to do to him. Well, I'll say it Monday night. I'm going to probably yelling a little bit. I'm going to try not to though. The death of Superboy from the '80s, when DC Comics murdered the real Superboy, and we're finally going to review it. It is a very touching story, but it's also pretty maddening, and that's going to be Monday night on we're again. And a bunch of other shows throughout the week, including Thursday, a special show on the 29th, because Superman only gets a birthday every few years, of course, because it's the 29th. And we're going to have a big Superman celebration at the special time, 4 p.m. Central on this upcoming next Thursday, the 29th. So
sweet.
Because, you have to celebrate superhero numero uno.
Oh, Clobby, thank you, sir, for being here. You have a great
Thank
night.
you, buddy.
See you several times next week. And
Of course. Take care, my friends.
And Astro City, that's what we're going to talk about, man. That's going to be our next Wednesday night show.
All right, buddy. We'll just get with me on that.
Bobby, it's always a pleasure, brother.
Buddy, back at you, both of you, man. All of you. And I appreciate
Guys,
you.
all 30 of you who are still here, holy shit, in the chat.
Thank you.
What?
Guys, Clobby's channel is in the description. Just click on his tag name. Go sub to his channel today.
All right,
Clobby,
my brothers.
Have
Thank
a
you
great
all.
night, weekend,
Take care,
sir.
brother.
Take care, man. Good to see you guys. Have a
Have a
great
good
one.
one,
See you
brother.
next.
Keep on
Good night.
clobbering.
Clobber on, clobbers.
So
Bobby's
Cobra
Saturday
Commander
Night
number
Star
2.
Trek show was fantastic, man. So good.
Oh, him and Raquel? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely legendary. So,
Yes, they
dude,
are.
okay, so as I'm reading this book, I was so blown away by the utter brutality of this book. Now, I'm going to admit, I'm still a little on the fence of the art style. Now, however, the story, I love the story, and it shows you how messed up a lot of these characters are in the G.I. Joe side of this universe. Like it gave me a great introduce. I sound like 70s here.
Introduce.
Great introduction to Buzzer, Ripper, and what's that lady's name?
Zarana.
Yeah, thank you. And it's like, okay, Cobra needs Energon, probably for what's his face?
Megatron.
Transformer. Megatron. There's clearly a connection here going on. He needs Energon, and then he's got a guy looking over it. And when his guy, who's supposed to basically be keeping him in line, and they counted like a marshal, and when he responds, ooh, his right hand man, rips.
Now,
like hot damn.
one thing that I got about this, and I was going to ask you guys too. Now, at first, you know how in the G.I. Joe movie, they had Cobra Commander as part of like the Cobra Law people. But this, if I'm not mistaken, they established that he is a human because I believe a few panels up, he says to him, and who is the guy who's what's the guy's name that is kind of like his keeping him in line?
His handler?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think it named him specifically.
I don't think they didn't name him specifically, but he's clearly a guy who's from Cobra Law.
Yeah.
Which I know when we talked with Aaron Sparrow on issue 1 review, he said that was a concept he didn't like from the show. However, it seems to be it's being utilized similarly but differently for this comic. And that's fine. Because I guess that means it's a good way of taking a familiar concept, and for those who may be skeptics, maybe trying to get them on board with it. But man, it seems like there's like it's almost like Cobra Law is now this thing where it's like you gotta express your loyalty to him. What's up, Janet from another planet? Long time no see.
Janet.
Oh, and he says these are your people, meaning that Cobra Commander is he's a human, normal human like the rest. And I think in issue 1, if I'm not mistaken, the first person that said when they do like the flashback and they show him with this experiment, and when he's in Cobra Law, one of the guys goes, "We have to leave or retreat" or something like that. They actually drew that guy how Cobra Commander was portrayed in that G.I. Joe movie. And then as an Easter egg, they promptly have Cobra Commander shoot him in the head and tell him we never retreat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which that was pretty cool. I read something and that was pointed out to me. So I'm getting this, and I'm assuming this is kind of further in the future from where we are with Transformers, because they have Megatron there in Cobra
Is he
Law.
trying to find his arms? Because if I saw Megatron had no arms, so maybe he needs the arms and needs to retrieve the Energon. My guess is he needs all these things as pieces to a puzzle to get Megatron back on his feet.
So from what I'm piecing together, and this is more so my speculation, but what I think we're going to be seeing is with Cobra Commander having Megatron, having access to this Cybertronian technology, he's able to use this for like some technological leaps and bounds. We've seen him using little like insect bug like swarm things. He's got advanced technology. He's looking for the energy for weapons. At the end of the day, it's gonna be for Cobra, for what will be Cobra, because that doesn't exist yet.
I think you're right about that. The Energon, I think he's figured out how to use it to power, and he's made his own tech, reverse engineering Megatron to use, and the Energon's going to power some of that stuff. Because you notice that they said in the Transformers 5 how that could power just a little bit of that. What they were harnessing from that dam could power their city for a decade, a straight decade.
10 years.
So
there's something that I'm trying to place in the timeline because
This is brutal right here. Oh, yeah.
In the Transformers comic, they have stated that there's at least nothing that they can find as a source of energy. But in here, they are actually going for a source of energy that should be somewhere in, I guess this is Florida.
Yeah, in the Everglades.
It does look like
So
Florida.
that means that either the readings are wrong on the Transformers comic, or this is in a point where you already have energy on at least in some capacity.
Well, just based on what I'm kind of piecing together from the timeline, this is taking place later than we saw with that.
Yeah,
and also there's.
So,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
So the events of Transformers from 1 through 6 have already happened. This is happening later because we're seeing, because again we saw Cobra Commander having Megatron, which was established at the end of 4 as being up in like a mountain somewhere.
Yeah, he's in the ice.
And like Duke, and you remember, and I believe that Duke takes place around the same time as this, because they had stated like after the encounter with Starscream, it was how long was it later? 6 months.
Somewhere's around 6 months or a year.
Yeah, around 6 months. You're right.
Yeah.
So that like that was, and I assume with the way that the timeline is, that the Transformers kind of kept going, and the what we're seeing now, like with issues 1 through 6, is takes place in that 6 months where Duke was away from everything. Is what kind of what I see, and like the Cobra Commander. That's kind of in a parallel timeline to what's going on with Duke. I think that's kind of the feel that I get for this.
Yeah. I got to say that Joshua Williamson, who's writing this so far, I'm liking how he's writing Ripper and Buzzer, and I hope that they keep him Australian, like they are actually in the original cartoon and comic. So because he's writing this in such a way that these guys are unhinged psychopaths.
Yes, they are.
So you do not cross them whatsoever.
Yes, you see
that
love it, the chainsaw scene.
Yeah,
love it, that panel.
Oh, did you notice,
right,
Michael?
And
did you notice? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I mean, Buzzer alone just has this gleeful look on him all the time, right? That just, it's like, I don't care what happened. I'm just gonna screw you up royally, right? Because that's me, right? And Cobra Commander, finding their shack and all that kind of stuff, and you find body parts. It's like, it just fully conveys the message that you do not mess with these guys. And so far, I'm loving it.
They've got body parts just laying around in their shed.
Yeah.
Oh, did you notice the mask? They had the Zartan mask hanging on the wall that like looked like the mask that came with his original toy from the 80s.
Yeah.
Then because you had the extra face that you could put on Zartan because he was the mask. Guys, I saw that. It was hanging on the wall.
I noticed that. It's like, they added that Easter egg.
I know, right?
Cool, right? So
they've been great for putting those little Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, there's so many that I haven't even caught, man. They're all over the place.
So, I'm liking this book so far. I'm liking the direction where it's going. It's it's oh God, because I'm a dad now, and I'm just going to totally date myself here. But these are not your dad's GI Joes anymore, right? These are not our kiddie Saturday morning GI Joes anymore.
It's so far removed from that cartoon that it's not even funny, man.
Yeah, but it's still GI Joe. It
is though. At heart, it's GI Joe. It's just like, this is not this censored '80s cartoon where a helicopter explodes and then you see a parachute.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in the I remember the VHS movie that was a bit more mature. It was less
Yeah.
censored.
Yeah, it was a bit, yeah. You know,
And
but
that, this is
you don't have the red lasers and the blue lasers, you know. You got bullets, man.
yeah. You know what was actually cool? The first little what say it was like the 5-part miniseries that actually had gun sounds and bullets in it. It was that first, like when they were getting the mass device. I remember since Pablo said that. I remember that because it was the first few. Also, that Chris Latta did Cobra Commander's voice a little bit different, kind of a little bit more sinister in that first 5-parter, man. But I remember that one being kind of that was a little bit darker and. I'm loving all the stuff that they've got in. Also, how this guy, his handler, how they basically used whatever that crazy organic thing with the teeth to make him look like a human.
Yeah.
He probably did all kinds of stuff, and that was another thing that made me and then they're talking. I'm like, okay, Cobra Commander is a human. Okay, that's cool. He's not just some half snake man or whatever like they had in the in that movie. So I'm like, who's driving me crazy? Hanging around Roadblock and imagine how hard it is for Roadblock to talk, man. You got every time you say something, you got to rhyme.
I love that. Yeah, I know, right, man. I love that part in the movie, though.
Driving me crazy, man.
Once a man. I was once a man.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I love it. You know, but no, it's good. I'm liking this direction. It's about time that they got some writers that actually know the lore and know the characters the way they actually are supposed to be written so far. I'm just gonna say so far, right?
Like the Dreadnoughts always
exactly.
Kind of, you had a little bit of an inkling of how the Dreadnoughts were kind of psychos in the cartoon, but this is just like, yeah, these guys live out in a part of like down in the Everglades, like with alligators and snakes and everything, and like
Very
they're just
Florida,
like,
man.
dude, it's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre out in the bayou, man. It's crazy. And they chain the dude. He's like, we said we take you home, and they just chain him to the thunder. Oh God, what's the name of that thing? The thunder.
I was gonna say Thunder Tank, but that's
the Thunder Tank. Yeah, that's what it is, right?
No, that's the wrong franchise. So
what is it? Let me see. I've got to.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. So the Thunder Machine.
Thunder Machine. There you go. Yeah.
So, but
and then one dude from the Cobra Law, they found the guy and they happened to bump into I don't know, whoever that guy happens to be in the wrong spot. He just grabs his arms, headbutts him while he's ripping his arms off, man. It was like,
oh, that's so cool. Man, just flattens his head.
I know, right? It's like that dude is like Nemesis and Forcer tough. He's unloading bullets on him and it's just doing nothing to him.
The thing that I like about this, right, is how they're writing Transformers, how they're writing G.I. Joe so far with Duke and Cobra Commander so far, right? And now that we know that, these guys are, so far, they know the lore, they know the story, they know the characters. It makes me want to actually submit like a script so I can continue protecting this IP.
That would be
right.
That
it stays on the straight and narrow, right? Because I don't want because I don't want what Hollywood, because we've all seen this video that's out. It's like, that when they're hiring writers for movies and stuff like that, it's like, the lore. Well, no, you're out, right? And I don't want this to happen, right?
So
because
I got to ask you.
Good. Yeah.
I got to ask you, if you can get in, right Transformers.
Yeah.
Would you put Skids in it?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Dude, I'd include everybody, man. Dude,
I think that's a fantastic idea because
I would keep it to the original lore, like of the cartoons, like Optimus Prime wasn't like stuck in a library or anything like that. No, you know what? Here was the thing, because he worked on the docks, right? piling away Energon with Ariel and his friend Dion, right? And there was a good reason, and that was like smart writing, right? Because here's the thing: when he was Orion Pax working on the docks, like with the aerial bots, right? It was because it was from a very humble beginning, from working as just a grunt, basically. As like the average Joe that's working every day, slaving away, like say on a construction site or something like that. It's like the humblest of origins right there. And then you take it to the next level where he becomes the hero, as we know as Optimus Prime, right? Not stuck in a library as an archivist like IDW wrote him or anything like that, just sitting away in a corner and stuff like that, like away from the war. It's like, no.
You know what? You're absolutely right. He was there for the first shot of the war was fired.
Exactly.
And he happened to see that because he thought, hey, these are those new bots that can fly, and he was kind of had an admiration there. And then the first
mesmerized by it, right?
Yeah, that's actually dude, you need to submit something like that because these people now are obviously fans. The Easter eggs are all over the place. Fans put Easter eggs and things like that, and little nods to this, things to that. That little Zartan's mask on the wall. That's a fan that did that. Somebody that had the Zartan toy.
If I get an Ironcaster, I will dedicate a special issue for Skids because he doesn't get enough love.
No, he doesn't.
Skids, and like you got to make sure, like even if we're not going to put in go full nods back to the original G1 issues.
Yeah,
put a cowboy hat in the back seat or something of his color.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
I mean, he only got one episode in the original run in season 2. Only one episode.
They had him in the one where it was Triple Takeover. They had him. That was the only time you see Skids, right? Because he was in Triple Takeover, man. When the Blitzwing and Astro Train decided to take over the Decepticons, and what is the purpose of this highway maze? It's its own defense, you idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Hashtag more love for Skids.
Yeah.
Guys,
sorry, Nick. We're
no, seriously, please. I'm actually going to be more insulted if you apologize.
Okay. Nick, real quick, we need to make you read that one issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And get you in on our love.
Be on me about it on Gilded.
Yeah. 20.
Seriously, bombard me on Gilded, and we'll do that.
Done and done.
But no. Here's the thing: they aren't holding me against my will.
20.
Guys like Pablo and I, we're just sitting here on the sides watching these three have at it, and this is
I am enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
Seriously, I don't want to write this, especially since we still have a crowd here. That's the thing. It's not like people here who are bored. People are still fucking here.
Yeah,
almost 3 hours into the show, but
this
unfortunately,
is what you get for keeping me away for so long.
Well, you're gonna be back next month, so we're gonna make up for lost time.
Okay, good.
But
I love you too.
Fortunately, all good things must come to an end. And yes, we will have Diesel and the Comic Relief Crusader back on next month. I'm going to try to see if I can get Aaron Sparrow to join us too. That way we can have it truly be the geek out of the geek out when it comes to Transformers, especially since issue 6 wraps up its first arc next month. So, and I know he also knows his Transformers as well. So I want to have a good old Transformers panel. It's gonna be so much fun when that wraps up. We can do it. For those of you not in the know, really quick, I want to highlight the first one of two things. The first one of two things for Free Comic Book Day, there will be the Energon Universe special. Looks like Kirkman, Johnson, and Williamson are all attached to it. I got the Void Rivals penciler Lorenzo De Felici involved and Ryan Otley involved. Why Ryan Otley is notable. He obviously was the main artist on Invincible for 90% of the issues.
Oh, wow.
And if anyone who's read Invincible knows, he knows action. He knows action. If he's just now getting involved in the Energon universe, almost a year since it started with Void Rivals #1, like, okay, we're gonna give you Ryan Otley, who knows action. We might actually have more than a year of good, solid action and entertainment because of the fact that a guy like Ryan Otley is involved. Maybe this will be the book where they give you a preview of what he's going to be involved in next. Maybe he might draw the third arc of Transformers. Maybe he might do something else entirely. I don't know. All I'm just trying to say is having Ryan Otley involved in this is a very damn good thing. And I mean a fucking great thing.
What's
So
that you got there?
I'm
Iron
excited about
Caster.
the fact that Otley is involved.
Ironcaster.
Oh, you showed me these on my stream.
Dude, is that for like MP10?
Yes, this is the box that I made.
That is dope.
Everything like the original box that I made, even the bottom.
Now you just need to get some good old toxic styrofoam.
Oh, that's all right because I already have that covered. Because I already got an insert made.
Yeah, seriously. For the Transformers that we can even show off toys, it'll be great. I also want to show off this great thing for any of those who were fans of Alpha Core #1, myself included. This book is already over 50% of the metallic collectible variants sold out. Already 50%. I actually didn't think it was going to do that well that quick. I thought I was like, oh, it'll probably do 1,000 within a few weeks. I was wrong. It was over 1,000 within a day, and probably gonna just hit 2K in the next few days. But yeah, this is $30 here, and it's got 36 pages here, all selected by Mr. Bennett, Mattel cover, and it comes with lots of historic notes on art, and also from his inker who will be doing the Horseman book, Fabio Jansen, as well. So if you're into art, black and white pencils, I figured I'd highlight this as well, along with Mythicals, West from Thinking Criticals, Patreon, of course, the greatness of the Energon. Another thing to highlight before we go out. So yeah, keep your mind for Mattel cover. Get it now before it sells out. But guys, it's been fucking awesome. It's been amazing. And we truly went off the rails in the best way possible. I even did a drunk purchase. That was great.
Yeah.
That thing does look, those G.I. Joe Classified series look
I did buy Buzzer. And Stephen M, thank you for hanging out, sir. This was a fucking awesome show. Next month, when Transformers #6 comes out, we're gonna go even deeper. Like I said, the whole show will be a Transformers / Energon U show. A whole 2.5 hours on it.
Just remember, we also need to do Cobra versus Gator.
Yeah, Nightwing
Yeah.
Nightwing is another dude that knows.
Why aren't you on our Gilded? Why aren't you on our Gilded, the Nightwing? Someone send him that private link and
Do it.
get him to course correct. We have a very active Gilded on top of it. Like, seriously, we're a very active. I mean, we got all these dudes here who are here on our Gilded server.
Is there a thing you can click on? Isn't there a thing you can click on to
It's
send
a
like
private
a link?
link, but here I'm gonna allow this one time because mainly this isn't going for Dolph Lundgren members, but for tonight, if you are not a Dolph Lundgren member, you have a one-time pass to get into our Gilded server. Whether you're Orin Alterus, the Nightwing, who's still here, Osmora. Guys, Mars Monkey, Stephen M. Guys, the Gilded, this is like Discord, but way better because it's got a lot of the great features that Discord has, but without the draconian BS3, the fucking do of it all. So please, see, he's a frequent post on Gilded, and all these guys here, and soon to be Pablo, are these guys keep conversation interactive on Gilded. We have a great time on there. We got guys like Vince Womack. We do Saturday morning cartoons on Thursday morning. The Gilded server here is one of the hot spots to be. I just posted right here, buddy. Come sign up, my guy. Come sign up.
Yeah.
We just
That's
got
3.
3.
Do it now.
Do it. Do it
Welcome,
now.
dudes.
Yeah, Nightwing is a huge Transformers fan.
Nav joined too. Nav joined as well. All right,
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
all right.
Awesome, dude.
Make sure when you're on the guild, it's like give these guys a warm welcome. And that's good.
I gotta get back on there, man. I have slacked about Gilded, man. It's like I forget it's there. I started getting on X too much and forgot about other stuff, man. And it just
Seriously, this is the place to be.
yeah.
Honestly, this is the place to be. Conquest is very active on there. Our buddy Christian DeLorme is on there. Vince Womack. It's crazy when you actually think about it. We have a lot of active people. Pope Metallicus. We have a lot of active people on our Gilded server. It's a fun place to be. It's the place to be. A lot of great discussions, and there's various topics too. If you look to your left on your screen, there's all the topics. You have so many grounds covered. If you're an anime guy, we have a movies area. We have a politics. We have a foodies, gaming, memes, YouTube, metal, comics, books, just regular books, general. Yeah. Thank you. Toys. Guys, this seriously, just pick your spot, pick your lane, or if you have a few lanes, pick your lanes or lane and just engage in conversation. Just engage. We got a lot of great dudes here. We just love a good time here. Like I said, Vince Womack, we do Saturday morning cartoons on Thursday morning. And soon I want to try to see if I can try to do like a movie night with some of the people on Gilded. So we're just going to continue to expand the Gilded greatness per se. Gilded is fun.
Yes, it is.
It's the Gilded. Awesome. Get to the Gilded. Anyways, I'm going to now let us plug our channel. So up on my channel, I did a video a few hours ago. Go check it out. Trailer reaction to Rogue Elements, the Ryan Drake story.
Yeah.
From the Critical Drinker. That video. I did a reaction video. Go watch that video, Diesel.
Cool. I'm going to check it out, man.
So go watch that video at the stream before you hop on Common Nerds. Watch that and then get on his stream.
Yes.
So watch that video and
he filmed some of that in Calgary.
Oh yeah, he did film like Calgary. And I will have another video out in a few days. And on top of it, Sunday night I'll be taking over Tom Connors' spot for doing the shit list Sunday night of the top 5 most toxic movies according to me, 70s and Brahmable. Maybe we'll have one more panelist. We'll see. That'll be fun. And of course, Toxic Tuesday, we'll be talking Bachelor Party. And then next week as well, we'll be talking Wolverine, Frank Miller, here on the show. So yeah, I just posted a video, another video to follow in a few days. If I'm lucky, I'll get a third video on top of that. And I just list off all the streams. And of course, I'll be at Midnight's Edge After Dark Tuesday and Thursday next week. And along with Comics Division's Thursday night throwdown. So, guys, I'm gonna let these gentlemen plug their plugs. I want you guys to all have a plug with. Try to keep it all within less than a minute each, because I hate saying it. And I sound like a doofus, but I do have to fucking go to bed, and I hate sleeping. So, Diesel, plug your plug.
All right, man. Wednesdays, Winding Down Wednesdays, Common Nerd Channel at 6 p.m. Central. Also on Friday at 7 p.m. Central on Iron Oxide's channel with the Rogues Gallery that we do. Try to squeeze it in between Friday Night Tights and Comic Shop Talk. And I'm gonna get my channel fired back up here soon. I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Also, one other quick thing I was going to mention real quick that was on the Transformers thing. When Long Haul hits Optimus Prime in big letters, it says heavy metal on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that until you said we were talking about that earlier. But yeah, that's where I'll be. Thanks for having me on. This is a blast. I love nerding out. It's so cool to be on here with the Comic Relief Crusader. And
thanks, man.
Always a pleasure, Nick. Thank you so much for letting me come on. It's like one of my favorite streams ever, dude.
The pleasure is mine, sir. For real. I can't wait till we do this again next month for a whole Energon Universe episode. Have a great night, sir. Guys, I tagged Diesel on the description. Go check him out there. Pablo, another gentleman who's tagged in the description for his solo channel and his Midnight's Edge Espanol channel.
Hey, more videos coming to Minas Edge. Actually, I edited one yesterday about how basically Disney keeps fucking around. So they are finding out. That's good. They should find a lot more. Other than that, well, I'm quite drunk to be honest. So,
So am I. I'm drunk, dude. I'm feeling it.
Beer from Holland is good beer. I would say that. Brothers, it has been a blast. I love hearing you talk about robots. And to be honest, I didn't expect to have so much fun with Cobra Commander, but at least that moment of we told you we are giving you a not a right. Is a right? Right? When they chain the guy to the truck.
Yeah.
And just drive with that moment just made it really, really fun. I don't know what about that level of violence, but I'm enjoying it a lot. So yeah. Other than that, I just want to thank you guys. It has been awesome, and I just need to fall flat on my face, to be honest.
No, Pablo, thanks for being here, sir. It's been fun as always. Have a great night, weekend. I will see you soon, as always. And Osmora, now that's fantastic. You watch Midnight's Edge in the morning, as one should. I'm on the night shift.
bear.
I'm on the night shift with Tom on the channel Midnight's Edge After Dark, and Pablo here is not only part of Midnight's Edge Espanol, which is tagged in the description, but also he helps edit a lot of the videos Andre does for the channel. So there's a lot of Midnight's Edge connection. Also, Clobberin Times, who was here earlier, is a panelist on the night shift show Midnight's Edge After Dark as well. So there's a lot of Emmy connection on this panel. Lots of it.
Just to answer to Vince, it's called Breda Beer. Breda beer. I don't know if you can get it there, but I am enjoying it.
No, Pablo, it's been good, man. Guys, oh man, I'm drunk. Me too, brother.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm drunk. I'm actually I'm legitimately drunk. Comic Relief Crusader. Plug away.
There we go. Well, as some of you can see by my icon, yeah, I sort of kind of like Transformers. So go figure. If I don't know if I can put my link in the chat, if that's allowed. If I can, okay, cool. Well, anyway, some of you guys in the chat know me, like Vince Womack and a few others there, like Joe and all that. I got a show. It's on my channel right there. Click the link. Check it out. I got a show on Tuesdays, Titillating Tuesdays. That's right, where you'll laugh your balls off and your nipples will get about 3 Smarties long. And then we end the week with Frantic Fridays, where we do the same thing over again. And the beginning of the start of the show, we go off with some of the stupid news that's out there, because people that are really retarded are out there running our country, making stupid, foolish decisions, and they need to be ridiculed. Well, or at least made fun of. And then we go through some of the news that most major channels won't bother covering, because you know what? It's all interconnected in some sort of weird, perverted way. So we'll take a brief commercial break during the midpoint where we'll just show something funny. And we got a bunch of guys talking about stuff. And it's hilarious. I mean, my God, you don't find a show that has an entire trauma team in Texas operating on people while they're listening to a show. And that's what mine is. So come on over, enjoy the channel, enjoy the chat, have fun at other people's expense in a good way. And hey, become a member, enjoy. So, and I'll see you there.
All right, Comic Relief. It's been fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, dude,
Thanks
so
for
totally.
being here.
Thank you for having me again.
I can't wait till we do this again next month.
Oh, yeah.
I will see you soon. All right, next month it's gonna be gigantically bigly.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be amazing. Huge.
And I want to give a shout out to Emperor's NM, great support channel, dude. Catch the replay, trust me, it's worth it. All 3 hours of it. I swear a lot of vulgarities on this show.
Only
that
slightly.
This show tonight was worth it. We'll let once again before Ironcaster plugs his plug. Next week, Wolverine, Frank Miller will be talking. I want you all to come on droves for that. Come on droves. Check out my video at this channel before you go watch Commander's 24-hour stream, and then go watch his stream after you watch my video. Now that all said, plug your plug, Caster.
Well, hello, friends. I am Ironcaster. You can find me over on my channel, Ironcaster, where I will sometimes talk about big robots. I have a show on Monday nights where I'm just we're talking about whatever involving all this kind of cool little fun stuff in this corner of the internet. I think Monday we'll be talking about some Final Fantasy stuff because, come on, everyone wants to have a Magitech, vehicle. Tomorrow I'll be on with T-Shirt Historian for the Week in Geek, where we will no doubt be talking about Wizards of the Coast because they sure love to stick their foot into it. Tuesday, I will be on with Pops and Stone Loki for Talk Hard, where we are talking about the most recent episode of Halo because this has been a god-awful show. Oh, and Charlie's here too.
Why?
Caster. Oh. And on top of it, Osmora on the way out the door as Caster's showing off his puppet.
Thank you.
Oz. Huge membership. Osmora again. 199.
You got it.
Caster, did you make that?
I did. Well,
That's cool.
Yeah, one more for the road. Thank you, Osmora, sir. I can't wait to talk to you on Gilded.
I made him.
Caster, carry on.
Well, how come I only get to come back for the end of the show? Well, because if you came on earlier, you would steal the show. Oh, that makes sense.
I can't wait to size.
He's so sad now. Pablo, you should really apologize to him.
Dude, you're great. Charlie, you're awesome.
Don't be racist.
I'm gonna feel the effects tomorrow at work. I know.
You're welcome.
I got drunk, let people into our private Gilded server, and then on top of it, I made a drug purchase.
Yeah, but it was a cool drunk
Win!
purpose, man.
It's a win.
It was a win.
Dude, drunk purchases are awesome. You never remember, so it's a gift from you.
It's just a gift from you.
Watch. When he sobers up, he'll order another one, and then when the one comes in the mail, he'll be like, "Why do I get two?"
I'll just give it out to whoever is the next Dolph Lundgren member.
I think, Charlie, I don't think that's quite enough.
5.
Give it. Give.
That goes with the garter belt.
Fine, keep the $5.
He'll have to talk eventually, and he'll drop it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys.
I think he's gone.
Anyways, this is the end. Go hang out on Gilded. Great server, great place to be. Please watch my video on the drinker trailer reaction. Then go hang out with the Common Nerd.
Already
I'll
got
see
it
you
pulled
all
up.
next week, guys. Seriously, have a great weekend. Have a great night wherever you are. Be safe. Be fucking awesome on top of that. All 30 of you. The fact that you all stuck around here, this is insane.
Be
fucking
excellent
awesome.
to each other.
Yes.
And-
be fucking awesome to each other. All right. This is it. Goodbye. Good fight. Good night.
Party on, dude.
Yeah.